Hey, fellow riblets, it's me, Tom from Trucker Prime Rib. I know this is pretty unexpected, and I do apologize. I'm just putting out a live. It might even just be a video, but having a little bit of situation today. So had a little bad luck. So yeah. So this is what happened. So the flusher in my toilet was very loose, and I was trying to fix it and tighten it, and for some reason I had a hard time getting it apart. In order to tighten, hey Sandy, how you doing? In order to tighten it up, so I kept on trying to fix it, and in order to fix it, in the process, I slipped and I hit the I guess the pump on it. Hey Don, I hit the pump and it pretty much all the water flew right up into the ceiling and flooded the whole bathroom. Um, and I don't know why I thought this, but I thought there was a turnoff valve under the toilet. I could just go down and just turn that to turn off the toilet. And ended up that I had to turn off the whole water system. And but it did it caused damage, and unfortunately enough damage to actually cause tile damage in the store next downstairs, the laundromat. And now I'm responsible because they called the landlord and the landlord called me, and I couldn't lie. So I know some people might tell me that I could, but I couldn't see my way of being able to lie. So because I was trying to fix something, it's my fault, obviously, and so I'm responsible for the damages. So I don't mind paying the damages. My thing is I just hope and pray they let me do a payment plan, and then I can figure something out. Like, like so much per month or so much. Like I get paid weekly, so even if I pay them my whole paycheck, like $100 a week or something, until it's all paid up. But according to, I just texted the landlord, and she said that the owner made a big stink about it and said that there was lots and lots of damage. I took a look at it, and I don't know. I mean, to tell you the truth, okay, I don't know much about electrical work, but I would think that they would have had to go up into it because I don't see any electrical work that's going on right now. The reason why I'm doing this live is it's sort of an intervention, I would say. Um, Lewis just texted me about having to get to bed early, but I accidentally. Oh, he's just basically saying that he's very, yeah, okay. Um, so, um, so I even talked to Lewis, and I have to admit the stress. Whenever I would eat, now I've been able to handle the stress. I've been able not to have anything, but this was really bad stress, because this thing could be thousands of dollars that I'm responsible for, and until I know I can do a payment plan, I'm just very nervous about it. And this would be the time that I would actually eat the junk, that I would actually have the cupcake, that I'd be binging, because this is how I dealt with my stress. And I'm hoping that I have a new way to doing it, um, and that's by actually communicating with others. And you know, I I am doing the line diet right now, so I mean, I guess I could just cheat on that and just have some cheese, and um, at least I'm not cheating on carnivore, you know. But but unfortunately, I just thought I'd try this first and see if I can, just get some stress out, and everything. So I mean, um, I mean, like if you were there, like I was kind of lectured already, like, oh, you should, and it was stupid lectures, like, like I was like, well, you should have called us and stuff like that. Well, how the hell am I supposed to call you? The flood is happening. Like it's not going to help me to take care. Thank you, Sandy. Maybe I will do that. I mean, the place that has the best cheese is actually closed in about an hour, so I'll just do a short live today, and I appreciate you guys being on and everything. I just needed to vent a little bit, and now we don't have any water, so that's a little bit of a problem too. So, sorry. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys were here for me. I do appreciate it. Um, I see there's only two people in the chat, so um, Sandy and Don, I appreciate you coming. Uh, sorry if I woke you. Don't forget that Homesick Buckeye is going to be on. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I was more upset about. I don't know if it was more dealing with the flood or if it was finding out that I had to pay damages to someplace else that was caused by the accident, or the being told that, you know, like, like it's got to be acknowledged that it wasn't, like accidents happen. And, that's like being in a car accident and being like, well, if you weren't, like it's, if you weren't there, then this would never have happened. Well, of course, if I wasn't there, this would never have happened. But that's not how it happened. That's not how it works. So I don't know. So, all right. But thank you for that, Sandy. Um, like I said, this was just a totally unexpected live. So, I was going to do a video. I haven't found out my blood sugar yet, so just to let you know. Let me actually just check really quickly if there's any updates. You gotta love passwords, right? Yep, no, it hasn't come in yet. So, yeah, no, there was an accident, Lexi, and I'm just really stressing out about it. Um, my toilet overflowed, basically, not from the toilet side, but I was trying to fix the flusher, and I accidentally hit while trying to tighten it up. I accidentally hit the thing that holds the water, and all the water splashed up. And I was trying to look for the shut-off valve. Unfortunately, I thought they had one. I don't know why I never noticed this before, but there was only one shut-off valve in like four rooms from this room, like all the way to the other side, and I had to get to that and turn it off. So I shut off the main water line, and it caused damage to downstairs. And now I'm responsible for paying for the damages that were caused. And they're claiming that there was electrical damage and all that stuff. Ceiling tiles I don't really care about. That's probably going to be like no more than $100. Just wait until I get my paycheck and that's fine. But electrical damage can be in the thousands. So I'm a little stressed by it. So, and the reason why I'm doing my live because of this is because I hopefully they'll come tomorrow and they'll fix the problem and turn our water back on. Right now, the laundromat is allowing me and my roommate to go downstairs. We need to use the bathroom. I got a scanner for the door, so even if I lock the door, I can actually open it up and I can use the bathroom down there. Hopefully, we won't have to use it too much. Um, and I actually brought some extra toilet paper just so then I don't take all their toilet paper. So, yeah. And unfortunately, stress is one of the things that makes me eat the junk. And this is probably the most stress I've had in a long time. I thought I've had other stress, but I've always been able to deal with it. On like the worst I would have is maybe some cheese, and but this is pretty bad stress, and you know, yeah, that's probably true, Sandy. I mean, I think the worst of it was just being told like like well if you didn't do this, like I was trying to fix the toilet. I don't think I did anything wrong. I think it was just an accident and everything and to yeah so oh you had to get up anyway. Yeah, so I'm stressing. I even texted Lewis and told him about what happened and um and I said to him, I said I feel like I want a cupcake, or 15 cupcakes, and I'm not gonna lie, I mean this is part of the journey, right? I mean carbs are an addiction. And when you get stressed out, sometimes that addiction comes even further, And I just need to um, I just need something to vent to. Thank you, Lexus. I appreciate it. You know, I mean, I'll prevent from having the cupcakes by not going to the store. And if I do get the desire, I guess I could just have a burger patty or something like that. But I'm not really, I don't know if that would really solve my problem, to tell you the truth. Um, I think I'm just very worried about the damage that I caused in the laundromat and how much I'm going to owe. And makes it even worse is I asked him if I could do a payment plan because it's not that I'm not willing to pay. It's just I can't pay thousands of dollars. I don't have it. So thank you, Sandy. I think I will. If I end up like if the pizza place closes early, then I'll just go to the store and get myself some cheese there and I I should be okay not to get the cupcakes. You know, what do you mean? It sounds a little fishy to you? Oh, about them saying about all the damage that's been done. Yeah, it sounds a little fishy. I mean, I like I said, I sent pictures to the landlord, and she's looking at it, and she doesn't see either where there's electrical damage. And how would you tell if there's electrical damage unless you actually went up into the rafters and stuff like that and saw the damage? I mean, most of the time, electrical work has is usually protected from from I think it's just, I mean, the ceiling tiles are definitely watermarked. So I think it's just the ceiling tiles that need replaced, and that's fine. I mean, how much is that? About $100 for replace those ceiling tiles. You get them at the Home Depot, maybe 200 at the most. You know, but like I know a little bit of the water went over to the sprinkler system, but I would think that the sprinkler system could handle getting a little bit of water. I mean, it is a sprinkler system after all, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about the sprinkler system to know whether or not water is going to affect it. You know, I don't think it should, but I could be wrong. I mean, anything's possible. but I can't see where they know. Like with just looking, like literally, like if I'm looking at my arm, you know, I'd have to look deeply to find out if there's anything wrong inside, right? So if it's on the surface, that's one thing, but the electrical works underneath the tiles and everything. So unless you pull the tiles, and according to the girl downstairs, she said that he came in and just looked up, and that was it. So yeah. So I don't know. You know. Oh, that's fine, Sandy. You can call me honey if you want to. I understood why you did it. I really did. So I just oh I'm having a little bit of a hard time breathing. I'm still dealing with a cold too, so that might be part of it. Might be thinning my lungs out a little bit. So I see we got 4 people in the chat, but so there's one other person. But so far, I just see you, Sandy, you, Lexi, and you, Don. So I met Don actually over in Boston, so that's pretty cool. Um, hmm. Yeah, it's a Boston meetup. Matter of fact, that might be why I'm. So I hope Don, you're not sick because a lot of people think it might be because of going to Boston, but I took a train and everything, so I was a lot more susceptible to germs. Oh, really? I never saw that the testament. Oh, what time is it there, Sandy? You're in Florida, right? So you're talking about in 15 minutes. All right. Homesick Buckeyes on at 8:30 too. So oh, okay. Well, no, definitely watch it, Sandy. Oh, it's 7:43 there. Okay. So it's almost 8 o'clock. So it's about 7:43 here too. Yeah, Russ is good. Homesick Buckeye is Russ. Just look up the channel Homesick Buckeye. You'll see today his co-host is Rick Charger Mopar, which you've met, Lexi, and just go on that. Just you'll like it. He's a pretty nice guy. Yeah, I think today's Rick's turn. They alternate him and a nurse named Laura alternates who's his co-host every week. Every week. So hey Charlie, how you doing? Yeah, Lexi's pretty new, Charlie. So she's still learning the who everybody is and stuff like that. So she's doing pretty well with that. I mean, the fact that she knows who I am is pretty amazing in itself. So you know, yeah, I saw you a couple times today. I forget where though. I think once on Cooking Nashville I saw you, and then someplace else. Yeah, Russ is a pretty good singer, um, and he can crack the jokes too. So he's an overall entertainer, you know. So hopefully we'll find out the results tomorrow, and I will post them. Um, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do a live tomorrow or not. I know I wasn't going to originally, but I don't know. Yeah, probably not because I'm going to probably have to deal with a lot of stuff tomorrow. So I still have a lot more of the studying to do. Yes, he's on at 8:30 Eastern time, my time. So you found them, I'm guessing. So I'm going to, not that matters really, but I'm going to put in the chat if anybody wants to come on and say hello. And then if no, then I'm probably going to end the thing soon. Um, and go from there. And we'll just call this the stressed out um, venting live. Good name. Cool, Lexi. I appreciate it. And I hope my stress doesn't stress you out too much. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get much sleep tonight. I'll try, but especially with no water in the house. I mean, like the soda probably mixing it. Like when you don't have something, you need it more. Does that make sense? No, thank you, Sandy. You don't have to be brokenhearted for me. Just pray that I'm at the very least able to do a payment plan. You know, because like I said, I can't afford thousands of that, and also hope and pray that there's not as much damage as they're claiming. So, hi, Lexi.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you're having a hard time right now.
Yeah, I mean, the stress is just overwhelming. You know, I just needed to vent a little bit. So, you know,
Yeah.
so yeah. What was that? I'm sorry.
I said it's
You broke up
totally
a little bit.
okay to vent.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So, um, yeah. Uh, when the landlord told me that I have to pay for the damages, that was just, But she even admitted that the owner of the laundromat was making it sound a lot worse than like she looked at the pictures and she's like, it does not look to be as bad as he put it out to be.
Good.
So I don't know if he was just exaggerating to get more money out of the landlord and didn't think that, hey, figured the insurance would take care of it and stuff like that. And the insurance might take care of it. That's very possible. It's just I don't know what the insurance will take care of. So I'm not really sure how that works. I mean, I do pay rental insurance, so you know, but I'm not sure if it takes care of flood damage caused by the upper apartment.
Right.
So, I mean,
Yeah. I'm sure it'll get worked
so
out.
yeah, hopefully, just I'm hoping it. Like I said, I mean, if it's like a lot of money and they give me a payment plan, then I can work with that.
Yeah.
But if they tell me to go like $2,000 in one shot, that's a little harder.
Mhm.
Considering I have like maybe $5 in my pocket. Like it's. So hopefully they'll give me time and give me like some kind of like monthly or weekly payment plan, and I can just pay with my paycheck every week,
Right.
and just go by that.
That'd be
You know?
great.
So that would be. So I think I'm just anticipation. I'm also anticipation of my A1C coming in. Still haven't gotten the results yet, so that's a little
I'm
nervous
sure.
about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get a good reading.
Well, it's funny. I always believe that there's yin and yang in life, and meaning like there's always whenever something good happens, something bad of lesser or equal or more value happens as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if the reason why this flood happened is because my A1C is really, really good. It's like
Yeah.
I got the really good A1C. I doubt it's the A1C that I want, but I got the really good A1C, and in turn, fate was like, "Hey, you know what? We're going to cause a flood in your bathroom and cause you all this stress." You
Um.
know, so
So. So I'm a Christian, and I've talked about this. I'm not trying to push my views on you or anything, but me and my
yeah,
mom have
you can
talked.
if you want to.
We've talked about this where like the enemy, the devil, will attack you right before something God gives you a blessing because like he sees how bright your light is and he wants to attack it. So I don't know if that helps to look at it that
That's
way.
sort of makes sense.
It's exactly like what you're
Well,
saying.
it sort of makes sense. I mean, yeah, I think it's the same thing, kind of. The yin and yang. It's like okay, something good. Um, I'm not sure who asked this question because they're disappeared. I see the question, but I don't see the name with the question. Oh, Charlie. So my last baseline, Charlie, which is what I call it, is 7.6 right now. So I will find out either tomorrow or Wednesday on what the new baseline is. So that's been the new base. That's been the baseline for 3 months now. Hopefully, this carnivore diet has helped bring it down.
That'd be
So
really good.
which is much of a bigger concern than my weight and all that stuff. So,
Hmm.
all right, Sandy, you have a good night. She's
Bye,
watching her
Sandy.
Testament movie.
Nice.
So
Is that
yeah, you
on?
never heard of Homosexual Guy?
I haven't actually. Okay, I've seen an image of him like thumbnails. I've seen him in
Okay,
thumbnails of other people's videos, but like I've never really watched him. And so yeah, I'll have to watch him tonight.
okay. Yeah, he's a pretty good. He's a pretty good guy. I've been on his channel before a couple times. Like he allows people, just like Bob and me do. He allows people on his channel
Oh,
to say
fun.
hello and stuff like that. Yeah. So
Okay.
and Rick's on it like every other week,
Mm.
for the most part. Like Russ has co-hosts, so Rick is one of the co-hosts, and
Mhm.
then a really nice nurse Laura Russell is his co-host on the other weeks. So it sort of like
Nice.
interchanges.
Fun.
Yeah.
Have you ever joined them? Oh, you said you've been on his channel.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on a few times. He knows who I am and everything. Like when I first started, I actually went on for him, and I also been on with Mitch too. Like Mitch used
Nice.
to actually have before I actually remember, and now he just does members only when he does it or the interviews. Like
Mm.
you know, which I'm
Nice.
sure if you ever ask Mitch, I'm sure he would be more than happy to interview you. Um,
Oh my gosh,
you would just have to, you're like, hey, you don't know me, but you know,
that'd be so cool.
because,
I've
I
been
mean,
kind
Mitch
of
is Mitch, so you have. I always say anytime you do an interview like that, learn about the person first. Like learn about their
oh
mannerisms and stuff like that.
right.
Then that way you know where you're coming out from. Because everybody's different.
Mhm.
So I don't have to worry about my mannerisms because I don't need to check on myself. So it's always easier for the interviewee to check on like even when I went to Dave Mack and stuff like that, I kind of looked at his style, and then he told me what his style was. So it's kind of both.
What do you
Kind
mean?
of. That way you're jumping in the pool. Like if you can't swim, you're jumping in the pool with swimmies, and then getting yourself protected or
Mm.
something.
Right.
So
I have
you
I
take
have
that off.
watched I have watched Dave Max videos. Obviously, I've seen Carrie Healing Humanity's videos. Um, who else have I watched? And obviously Steak and Butter Gal too. So I feel pretty prepared
Oh,
mostly for those, but I don't know.
yeah. I would check some other people, like with Dave Mack, check out videos, like, like you could always check out my video with him, and you could always check out my video with Carrie too.
How
So
old
you're
is
more than
your video
welcome
with him?
to do that. Which one, Carrie or Dave Mack?
Dave Mack.
That was a while ago. That was like in the beginning of my journey, so
Hmm.
about 6 months ago.
Okay, I'll have to look it
So
up.
I can email you the links to them if you like it. If you like to see
Yeah,
them,
please do. Yeah.
you know. And you know who Dave Mack's first interview was? And no, it wasn't
No.
me.
No.
Can you guess who his very, very first, like the very first person he interviewed was?
Was it Carrie?
No. Now remember, this guy's done over 1,000 interviews already.
Oh yeah. Dang, I have no idea.
Rick,
It was Rick?
Charger Mopar. Charger Mopar was his very, very first interview.
That's so cool. Huh. I think I watched that
Like
one.
he was the seed that got Dave started, basically.
That's so cool.
Charlie said he got to meet Russ and Laura at Keto Palooza last year, so that must have been pretty cool. At the Brazilian Stick, and I hear, Charlie, that you are a pretty big eater. Like you can really pack in the steak. Now, did I hear correct on that, or what? Like what do you eat? Like about like 15 pounds of steak or something?
Jeez. I can barely
Is
eat.
that?
I can barely eat more than like 8 ounces of meat at one time.
Yeah, I can do a little bit more than that. I can eat maybe like 4 pounds a day, but that's probably about it.
Good. Yeah, I
Uh,
think. I
so
think
I was
that's
I was thinking about cheating today, but luckily I decided to do this instead. So
good. I'm glad. I totally
yeah.
understand the feeling of like feeling so overwhelmed and stressed that you just want to go back to your cheat foods and just binge on a
Now
bunch
I'm
of
not gonna
sugar and
lie. If the
carbs.
cupcake fairy comes up to me and says, "Hey, do you want one?" I'll be like, "Okay, you caught me."
I mean,
But
like, I guess.
yeah,
hmm
you know, like if you're gonna twist my arm about it, I'll have one. Fine.
Yeah, I totally get that for sure.
It's funny. Like people think that when you do carnivore that you automatically just don't like sweets anymore, and it's
Not
not that I don't
true.
like sweets. It's just I try to like just deal with things in a little bit of a different way. I think that's why community helps so much. But community's not
hmm
always there. So maybe these lives are, the videos or the lives are the next best thing. And
hmm
because there's really no 24-hour counseling, carnivore counseling.
That's true.
I mean, maybe there should be, but I don't know how you would do that. Like where you could actually do like kind of like where you're always there, and then somebody calls in and says about what's bothering them or something like that. And you have like
Yeah.
people that's on the Zoom calls and stuff. But that would probably
Mm.
be really involved to do that. Um, but it'd be a good stress reliever, you know.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
you know, so I got a pretty good lineup of interviews coming up.
You
That
do?
one I don't know when they're coming up. Well, I shouldn't say I do have a lot of good interviews. I should say that I have the possibility of a lot of good interviews. All right. So my definites are, and I mentioned this before to you. Aaron is going to be on this Thursday. Aaron Booby
Mm-hmm.
Goats is going to be on this Thursday, which I'm sure you've heard of Aaron.
Yeah,
Um,
will be good.
and then Miss E, which you've talked to, is going to be on the 15th.
Who? Who?
And on the 22nd, her YouTube channel is Miss E, Miss and then letter E.
Okay.
But her name is Alyssa, Coach Alyssa from SB.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's going to be. I'm going to interview her 15th, and then Carrie Mann on the 22nd.
Terry's coming on your channel.
Yep. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So I'm going to be
Good for
interviewing him.
you.
And I'm trying to see if I can convince him to let me convince him to try to get Jen and Emma to come on. I'd like to interview them too. You know, I think
Yeah,
that'd be really cool. Even if I do both of them together or all three of them together, that would be cool. You know, but
Mhm.
you know, because I'm trying to get like spaces, you know, filled in, and then I have Tim Walker Walkings. I'm not sure exactly when he's going to be doing. I gave him some choices, but he hasn't emailed me back yet. And then Gary Noslow in August, and then I have Lash at the end of July. Going to be interviewing him, and he has a pretty fantastic story with the psoriasis and everything.
Oh yeah.
And have you ever heard of the Chris Cooking Nashville?
I think so. Yeah.
So I don't know when exactly. I gave him the dates, but at some point, I will be interviewing Chris Cooking Nashville.
Yay! I'm so happy for you.
I also asked Alia after Kilt said that he is willing to go on other people's channels because he thinks that we all should tell each other stories on everybody's channel. I asked for Dr. Nelson, Dr. Kiltz, and Alia, so I'm just waiting for their response on that.
Mhm.
So
That's awesome.
So I got a lot of potential, you know. And then on the 19th, the day before my birthday of September, I'm going back on the Kilts, and I'll be interviewed again from him. So,
Yay!
you know,
That's
so it's all
awesome.
good stuff, you know. I mean, this is just, you know, excuse me for 1 second.
You okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I have like some kind of virus or something like that, probably caused by the
Oh.
computer. So, no, I'm just joking. A lot of people think it's, and I think they might be right. It's the trip to Boston. I mean, for 3 years, I never went anyplace else but my house, or maybe out in the you know in the vicinity, like
City.
maybe a couple towns. And this time, I traveled on the train. I traveled on the Long Island Railroad. I traveled, you know, it was just a lot of, you know. So I'm hoping Lewis isn't sick because he sat next to me in the car.
Mhm.
So you know, so I'm, you know, and I hope that all these other people being on, the people are connected to them, will come on too. Like we'll do separate. We'll be like, hey, you know, you interviewed Chris, why not me? You know, type thing. There will be like a trickle down syndrome, so to speak. And I also still hope for the new people, like you or you know anybody else that wants to be interviewed and wants to tell their story. You know, you just got to be able to, like you did. You just got to be able to take the time and just open up. You know,
Mhm.
it's not easy, but once you, I mean, I'm sure once you start doing it, it wasn't as hard. You know,
No, not
so
at all. I mean, that was
you
my
know,
the interview with you is my first and only time I've ever told
right,
my story. I feel like it went well. It
right.
just kind of came out
I think it
naturally.
went very well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was pretty happy with the overall thing. I mean, I know I got a little annoyed with
Papa Carnivore.
you
Peter.
know, and obviously he knows about it because he felt really bad about it. But I know you know, but that's only because I was trying to say stuff and I just couldn't, you know, and you had the same, you know, I think he just wasn't paying attention. He was just being him and that was it,
I think he just
you
got
know. But I'm
excited.
good, you know. I think so. I mean, I think he's very, I don't know, I guess there's something about you that he's just very passionate about, you know. So, I mean, I think he just wants to help. I think he just wants to help everybody. And I think he knows that your story is unique and he just wants, and he's so passionate about carnivore that if he hears something that's very unique of how it's helping, um, you know, I think that, um, but at the same time, you know, I think you're doing very, very well. I think you're doing excellent,
Thank
but at the same
you.
time, you just started. So I mean, that being said, you're still like kind of like wet behind the ears, so to speak. And it's not an insult. It's just, you're just like what, 3, 4 weeks in,
Almost a
and
month.
it's like, what was that? Almost a
I'm
month, yes.
yeah,
And
almost 30 days.
yeah. So I mean, a month isn't really that much, like even 6 months isn't really that much,
Hmm.
and there's probably, I mean, I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but I'm guessing there's still a lot of things that needs to be done in your life, just like there's a lot of healing that needs to be done in my life. Like I'm having a hard time with the stress, and I found a way to counteract it, um, without getting a counselor and stuff like that. Because I mean, I could call the counselor, but she'd be like, "Well, I have an appointment on Thursday, or I have an appointment that,
But you
well,
need
I
it
don't need the help
now.
on Thursday, you know." And so I think this was the most expedient way. And I'm not asking for counseling. I just needed to vent a little bit and say, okay, and just say out loud what my problem is. And
Hmm.
I think one of the things I was dealing with is everybody was like sort of saying like, well, you shouldn't have, like, if you didn't try to repair the thing, this would never. Well, it's like being in a car accident. It's like, if you weren't in the car, we would never have the accident. Well, I had to go in the car in order to get to point A to point B.
Yeah,
So that's
and
kind of irrelevant.
if your landlord lord had just fixed it, then you wouldn't be in the situation either.
Right. I mean, this was sort of, I mean, the problem I had was sort of an immediate problem, and I was just trying to fix the flusher. Um, which was funny when I told the landlord what I was trying to fix. She's like, "What's a flusher?" I'm like, the thing that you push in order to get the toilet to flush, the flusher. So, I mean, that sort of was a little sad to me that she didn't know what I was talking about when I said. I mean, I figured that's the name of it, but
I don't know.
maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Um, I just, so I mean, that was bothering me more than anything. It's like, well, if you didn't do this, well, that doesn't help me any. And I'm a little stressed out as it is. I don't need to hear that. I caused my own problem. Um, accidents do happen, and let's acknowledge that. Like sometimes you do have to pay heavy. You do have to pay things pretty heavy, even if it's just an accident. But let's acknowledge that it's an accident. And I was just trying to fix a piece that was normally a pretty easy piece to fix. And
And
what happened was I
and
was trying to tighten it in, and the screwdriver just hit it and popped it up. And I
yeah.
couldn't. The water was like going all over the place. I mean, you should have seen it. It was like going like literally flying up. Like it felt like I was in like Niagara Falls or a geyser. Like what's that geyser? That famous geyser that comes up? Old Faithful. I felt like Old Faithful, like coming up, and like it flooded the whole bathroom, literally like that much water on the floor, like literally that high,
Oh
and I had to
no.
get towels and like mop it up. Yeah, it was horrible. Like water got into like all the crevices. I had to clean the crevices out. I used about like 6 towels to, and then rinse them off. And luckily I had a tub that, luckily the drain worked. So I had a tub, and I literally had to turn the water up from the valve in the living room. The valve, I had to go through the living room and into the furnace and turn off the valve there. And the thing is, I don't know why I thought this. I thought there was a turn off valve under the toilet for the toilet only.
There usually
And then when I
is.
looked, I couldn't find the valve. So it was weird. Yeah, I couldn't find it. So it's either maybe I saw it when I was like on the floor, and with my foot it's a little hard for me to get on the floor like that. So maybe I saw it years ago, and I thought it was at a better angle, and maybe I just couldn't see the angle. But normally you would think that there would be a shutoff valve for the toilet,
Yeah.
you know? Because what if you have to replace the toilet? You're gonna turn off all the water in order to replace the toilet when you could just turn off the toilet
Apparently.
water? That really doesn't make sense, you know? But I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. But
I think,
so they're
well,
gonna come tomorrow and give me some lectures, which I hate lectures. It's like it makes you feel like you're 10.
mhm.
But
I
it is what
think,
it is.
I think the best
I'm
thing you
sorry, you're
can
about
do
to say
right
anything.
now, the best thing you can do right now is just like remember that it already happened. There's a solution. Well, at least there's sort of a solution. You know that tomorrow your landlord's going to come to your apartment. They're going to check out all the damage, So
Right.
you just wait till that next step, I guess. Like don't worry about it anymore. You know what's happening tomorrow and then you guys can go
Her
from there.
husband coming, or she's setting a plumber. Right.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah, that way I'm definitely up early enough. Um, so, yeah, no, I mean, that's sage advice, you know. And like I said, like I was going to get, like even Sandy's like, just get some cheese, because like right now
Yeah.
I'm doing lion diet and cheese would be a cheat, you know, but it'd be better than the cupcake.
Hmm.
So, and I've had like Oreo cookies and stuff like that when it came to my blood sugar being low. But like doing it because of stress, that's a whole different animal. And like I can kind of regulate the cookie when it's like blood sugar because I'm like, okay, I just need one cookie to bring my sugars back up. But when stress, you're stress eating, and I think that it's harder to control that desire when you're stress eating.
Exactly.
So once you have that cupcake and everything like that, and cupcake, the only cupcakes I can get is at the convenience store, and there's not many cupcakes that come single pack. So
Mm.
it would definitely be a double cupcake, and then I would probably bounce it down, and I'd be like, oh, you know what, because this is how my brain works. I'd be like, oh, well, you know what, I haven't had vanilla. I'd be like, oh, well, chocolate looks good, but I haven't had the vanilla ones either in a while. I haven't had peanut butter in a while. I haven't had this and then you start buying all this stuff and you get all stressed out, and I haven't had a Milky Way and I haven't had a Three Musketeer bar in quite a while, it just triggers, you know,
Yeah.
and everything. And then you don't think about the consequences. You don't think about the pain you're going to be in. And I don't really
And
feel pain afterward. I feel more the pain of my A1C, you know,
yeah,
like when my
that's what I was
sugars
gonna
are higher.
say. And you're getting your wait, did you already have your blood tested?
Today. I'll get the
Today, okay.
results either tomorrow or Wednesday. Yeah, I actually went out. The place opened it said 7:30, but according to Google, it was 8 o'clock. So I got there around like quarter after 8, and took the Uber. Got there a quarter after 8, and believe it or not, the blood work. Because last time I went in the afternoon, and what happened? It sort of changed my 7.6. My 7.6 wasn't totally accurate. Um, I was supposed to fast. You're supposed to fast before an A1C, and at
Mm.
least about 12 hours before, 12, 13 hours before. And I did that. But when I got there, I had my roommate was my ride, and he wakes up pretty late in the day. So I get there until about 12 o'clock. Well, they were at lunch. So, and the whole place goes to lunch, not just one or two people at a time. The whole place closes down and everybody's at lunch. So I had to wait for them all to get back from lunch in order to get my blood work done. So,
Dang.
so like we weren't thinking, hey Dustin, how you doing? So we weren't thinking, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm pretty hungry, and we're waiting like an hour before we can do. So we just went to McDonald's and got some patties, but it was enough to get me out my fast. And so I wasn't really fasting when I got the blood work done. This time I was. This time I went at 8 o'clock in the morning. Went there, got my blood work done. It was very quick because I went when I was like one of the first people there. So I was smart this time. Took an Uber, and then I took an Uber to the Walmart and got some really good meats, which you'll see the video, including a breast lamb, like this long, like about the size of my forearm, and about this size here was the whole lamb,
Nice.
and you got that. So I just got to figure out how to cook it because it's something new. Um,
I actually
I'll
went
probably just
grocery
put it in
shopping
the cookie
today
sheet.
too.
Oh, well,
And
you said Mondays is your grocery day, I think.
yeah, I got what did I
Right?
got a little over 2 pounds of country style pork ribs. What else did I get? Oh, 73.27 ground beef, 3 pounds. Provolone just as a snack. And what else did I get? Oh, beer brats.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Hmm.
Don't get drunk
That's
on
really
them
it.
though.
Jeez. Bad joke.
Well, I am an uncle, so they're gonna come. That's why I tell my niece and nephews. She's like, "Oh, look at the dad jokes." I'm like, "Nope, I'm an uncle. Mine are worse." And my brother-in-law's like, "Yeah, these are worse. It's true."
Mhm.
So because I don't have a wife to tell me to stop. And I'm not going to listen to my sister. So
Right.
you know, like she's going to say to me like, "Tom, stop it," and I'm going to be like, "Yeah, okay, whatever."
Mhm.
Like I never stopped when we were kids. Why should I stop now?
Mhm. I don't mind them.
But now my baby sister is 50 years old, so we're not kids anymore. So, so yeah. Like I made a joke to her that like, hey, what do you have? What does my sister and the Golden Girls have in common? Because they're all Golden Girls because my sister just turned 50 and so she technically is a Golden Girl. So
Mhm.
she's like, that's not funny. I go, well, Carrie, if the Golden Girls look like you at that time when they're in their 50s, believe me, that would be pretty amazing because you look
Mhm.
pretty good for 50. You know, like if you ever see my sister, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
You know,
Have you ever had her on your
so
channel?
she offered to be on my channel once, but then she didn't understand what it really meant. So I sort of like I didn't really decline her being on. I told her she can be, but I just told her that it's mostly carnivore, and because she's really comfortable with carnivore. She believes that cholesterol is a bad guy and all that stuff. So when you don't have the mindset for it, it's a little hard to. My sister's very. I love my sister, but she's very, very successful, and that's because of how hard nosed she is. So, like, you
What
just
is?
don't argue with her. You just kind of like, uh huh, okay. She's the owner of a real estate company. She's the
Oh, nice.
CEO of like about four different offices, and she has about 300 people under her. So
Mm.
she's pretty successful. She has her own channel, coaching with Carrie, and she talks about her like pretty much her like her like real estate agents and stuff like that, and just talks about their successes and all that stuff. And I'm pretty proud of her. Just like just like she says she's proud of me. But I don't think she really watches my channel because
Really?
I also know that if I said anything about her, like I'm doing right now, her, my niece, or my brother-in-law, or my nephew would make a comment, be like, "Oh, Uncle Tom, how you doing?" Like they would say something, and they never say anything. So I really, and half the time, like when I went to the party, they were like, "Oh, you have a channel? I didn't know that." It's like, okay, well, first you say you knew it, and then you're like,
Mm.
I don't know, Dustin, because I mean the thing is okay. I think what will change her mind more is my physical attributes, my physical changes, like the losing weight, the being able to like the better I start walking, like the better balance. Because if you think about it, first off, A1C, you can't see it. So, I mean, I know what the A1C is, and I know what the damages are caused by it. Um, we all understand that, at least anybody that's a diabetic. But the issue is if she would never know if I was like a 13.7 or if I was a 1.2. Well, I mean, if I passed out, then she'd be able to tell. But technically, she's not educated enough in that field to really understand it.
Yeah.
So, I don't think the A1C would really. I think she'd be impressed with the A1C, yes, but I think her impression would be more of how much weight I've lost, and how much weight I'm probably going to lose, because it just keeps on going down. And matter of fact, I noticed that my shirt I had on today, I don't know if you saw it or not, but the red shirt, that got all drenched and soaked. Here, hold on one second. Let's see if it's still wet. Hold on. Yeah, actually, it's still wet. So I know you can't touch it, but this is the shirt I had on. So I can't. I don't know if you can tell how wet it is.
I can't see
Um,
it from
I
here,
mean, there's one way of
but
telling. I mean, do you see my hand through the fabric
I see
a
it.
little bit, or no?
Yep.
That's how wet my shirt is. It's still pretty wet.
Jeez.
You know, I mean, it's going to take at least a whole day to, like, overnight and everything to actually, you know. I mean, I think she'll be. I mean, I mean, this round, I don't think I'm going to be. And again, Dustin, I'm so grateful for the number you guessed on my A1C, 5.3. That's even more than I wanted it to be. But I don't think I'm going to be at 5.3 yet. I think that's going to be at the very least the next round, the next 3 months. Like maybe in a year, I'll be at that, or maybe even like my birthday. Like in September, will probably be which will be the next round. Because I have, well, no, October will be the next round. I'm sorry. So that will be the next A1C test. So, I think it's going to be more then. Yes, it's good to be overly positive. I mean, because then that way, if there's anybody that's overly negative, you counteract them and you average it out, and then it ends up being where it's supposed to be. I think, and I'm saying I'm not going to say this too much out loud, so I'm going to say that I think there's a possibility based on my the 9 month, the 3 month, the 90-day analysis on my thing. Now, this isn't totally accurate, but right now it's showing after 90 days that I'm at 6.4. So I don't know if that's going to be what my number is going to be, but I think that's going to be pretty close to that.
That's really good.
Let's put it that way. Yeah, from 7.6 to 6.4. Matter of fact, I think 6.4 is pre-diabetic. So not that I kind of agree with semi-retired Bob and Dr. Nelson that diabetes is diabetes, and pre-diabetes is still diabetes.
Oh yeah.
So, and I think that's part of the problem we have in society is, like when somebody becomes pre-diabetic, the doctors are pretty much like, well, like we have to work on it, but like it's like sort of like this like cavalier approach to it, and I think that's part of the problem. I think that doctors should be like pretty much instructed to be like, holy shit, you have pre-diabetes. We need to fix this now. Now it probably wouldn't fix the problem because a lot of them still think that carbs are the answer and that you need to take insulin and stuff like that. But maybe if they were still a little bit more, you know, urgent on it, and when people start going up and be like, "Well, doctor, I'm doing everything you're saying, and I'm getting worse,"
Right.
that maybe some pressure would be put on people, and maybe that pressure would get them. But no, it's like, oh, well, you're just pre-diabetes. And then once you get it, it's like, oh, well, there's nothing we can do about it. You're gonna be on insulin for the rest of your life. So you sort
Right.
of like give up on life.
Yeah. I'm
And
gonna get going, Tom. Okay.
thank you,
Sorry, I
thank you
didn't
very
mean to
much.
stop you so abruptly.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm going
Okay.
to probably end soon too, unless somebody else wants to come on um, and say hello. Oh, and Dustin, I sent Chris an invite to be able to come on. That invite goes to you too. Um, just to let you know. but I don't know your email. So, you know, but you're definitely invited. You're definitely a rock star to me. So, just like everybody is, you know. And Darth
Right.
Carnivore, if you want to come on, you can come on, but you have to dress up like Darth Vader in the costume. So, that's my only condition, you know, because you're gonna be Darth Carnivore. You gotta dress the part. All right, I'll see you. I, all right, so she's pretty. She's so sweet that she came on and gave me some support. So somebody just said hello. So let me see. Um, oh, really? That's cool. Yeah, I met Charlie once on Healing Humanity. Um, in one of the Zoom calls. Very brief. I mean, I probably saw him before that too. But, oh, that's right. Okay. So let me double check and see if there's any updates. Okay. Nope, still no updates. That's fine. Um, so I'm gonna. Oh, that's cool. I can hear you, mouse, nice and loud. Ha. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, you can hear the mouse? This thing's like really loud, isn't it? I don't know. Will you hear that? It's so weird. It's a new computer, which just makes me bright. But I'm hearing a lot of people saying that they can hear. So I guess I can't do research in the middle of the lives because too many people hear it. Either I have to mute myself in order to check things out, which is kind of weird. But unless it's commonplace for, I mean, there might be a way to silence the. I'm wondering if there's a way to silence the keys and everything. Um, I would have to learn how to do that. Show him icons. No. I'll figure it out. For now, it is what it is. I will figure it out before Thursday. Who just said that? Somebody just said, "Oh, Bruce. Hey, Bruce. I thought that was you." Um, well, I apologize on that. I mean, obviously, when I put comments in, I need to. No, no, I get that, Dustin. You know, I get that. I mean, there probably is a key that prevents the noise. I don't know why. Like prevents the clicks or something like that. I heard that it like when I was on with Kilts today on in a Zoom call. It's like I guess I had my thing unmuted and they heard me clicking away, so they had to mute me. So here, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Tell me if you still hear me clicking when I mute myself. Okay. Okay. Didn't anybody hear that? Oh, that's true. I'll look into that. Yeah. Okay, so you don't hear it when I mute, so that's good. That at least there's some areas that doesn't annoy. I can't, always mute, but on here, but I can mute like in the Zoom calls and stuff. So I just gotta make sure I'm always muted. So then when I'm like trying to look up stuff for people and stuff, I can check it out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, because I was with the situation that happened with me with the toilet, and just to bring you guys up to speed, I had to fix tried to fix my flusher, and I slipped and hit the pump, and the pump broke the top, and the top actually started spluting out like the Old Faithful, and flooded my whole bathroom, caused damage downstairs in the laundromat, and now I'm told that I have to over the damages. It's a trackpad. I could always hook up a separate mouse. I just have to get one. That's true. I mean, the other one had a trackpad too, but it was like two buttons on the front. Oh no, I put it away. Um, the old computer, like it was the same kind of design, but it wasn't in the thing. I don't know if you can actually. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, the angle's not there. Maybe if it was up higher, the picture, but so something about streaming and growing. So I was saying before about how. Oh yeah, that's true, Dustin. Actually, I'm gonna mute for 1 second, and hey, Lewis,
What happened to you? What's up?
can you hear me, Lewis? I I had to blow my nose, and I
Okay.
didn't think anybody wanted to see me do that. So
How's it going?
uh, this stupid virus is like, I'm hoping that you or Michelle or I forget her name all of a sudden,
Jessica.
the girl that we were with.
Jessica.
Jessica, I'm sorry. I'm thinking
Yeah.
Ashley. I don't know why I'm thinking before. Yeah. None of you are sick, are you?
No, but the meetup was a while was long enough
Because
ago. I don't
a lot
think
of
that
people think it might be from the train rides and stuff.
oh, maybe, yeah.
Well, they think that the train rides, not you personally, but
Yeah,
just not being out. So I mean, it's
that is
possible.
possible. Yeah, it's
It can even be
possible.
from going home. I mean, I always think that every time something good happens, there's always something that happens that's equally, annoying. And so like you have a good time and you have a great venue and everything like that, and then you go home sick. That's like the
Oh
yang
yeah,
to it
that
all, or
happened to
the yin,
Mitch too,
whatever it
remember?
is.
Remember when Mitch went
Yeah,
to the meetup?
I do. Yep, he got really sick. Yeah, that's true. So I mean, the thing is though, I had a great time. And you know, but so just like I was, like I wanted to stress eat, and it wasn't really enough to just not do it. It was like I just wanted to vent a little bit, and so I
Mm,
figure, hey, what better way to vent than put on my live and just come on and just talk.
that is a great that is a great way to get through the night. I agree. And
Yeah,
for
and it made
accountability.
me. It actually made me think. It actually made me think. It's too bad we don't have like some kind of program and it would be expensive and be very hard to do. I'm not saying that. I'm just putting in the seed. Let's put it that way. Um, where like it's like kind of like a 24-hour Zoom call that if you have a problem, you just call and
Someone's
like
on.
to bring you down. What was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, there's the meeting is always turned on, and there's always someone on that you can talk to and hang out with.
Well,
That's a
yeah.
good
Well,
idea.
that's true. Yeah, yeah,
But
and I mean, it would
you
probably take a
created
lot of
that by just going
volunteers.
live. You created that.
Yeah, that's true. I just
Mhm.
can't do a 24-hour live, so
Well, I
it's
know, I know.
24/7, 7 days a week. That's a little hard, But yeah, I mean, obviously anybody can vent and anybody can, if they have while I'm on,
Hmm.
But I'm saying to go a little further because like I talked to my counselor and she's like, well, we could do a session like 4 days. And I think to myself, well, I didn't talk about this. I had another issue that I was talking about, and because I was like very insecure, very I don't know if you realize that or not, but I get that way sometimes, and
Yeah, no, I know.
it's getting better, but it's still and it's nobody's fault. It's not even my fault. It's just what happens. I just got to deal with it. And I think I am dealing with it. I think I'm fine. I just got a little nervous about the coaching status and everything too, you know, um, because I don't really feel as confident in myself as people feel in me, So it's just very overwhelming. Like when I was doing that Zoom call last week, I just was very overwhelmed, and I didn't say anything because I just stayed quiet, but I just
No,
I
it's
was
fine.
just trying.
It was a lot. It was a lot, and I feel like yeah, it was a lot. I don't even think I'm gonna finish.
Yeah. I mean, I
You know, but
probably will finish, but I just don't know how well I will finish. If that makes any sense. Like, it's good. Like, I think I overkilled on the reading. I'll be honest with you. I keep on losing your picture. I think I overkilled on the reading, and you can tell me if I did or not. Now, we were supposed to, before the 13 week thing, we were supposed to read all the modules and before that, right?
yeah. And some of the modules, one of them had like an
Okay.
hour video, and then
Right.
then
But
some
was
of
it
them have
each
like
section
attachments or
of each
PDFs.
module, or was it just the first part?
Some
Right.
of
And I
the
did all that. My
some of
question
the
to you is,
modules you can just check off, say I completed it. There's no writing to do.
right, yeah, but that's not me. So, I mean, I will do whatever I have to do,
Well,
just
no,
because
yeah,
I want to make
I'll
sure I
watch
do
it,
it right,
there's nothing
But,
that you need to leave besides saying you just watched the video or
but
you
my
read the
question is
paper.
this: like each module had different assignments, correct?
Yes. Well,
So, like,
yes.
say, like
Yes.
one module had 5 assignments. Would I just do the first assignment of each module, or was I to do all the assignments in each module?
You have to I would say you have to go in order of all the components of each part, and if there's multiple assignments, do all the assignments.
Right.
Yeah. How many
All right.
people
Well,
are
that's what I
watching right
did, but
now?
for some reason, I thought someone said something about only the first part, like the first ones in each one. So I was like,
No,
did I
yeah,
do too
no.
much?
No. You did it right. You did it right. You did it right.
Because
Yeah.
Alia was saying it would only take a couple of hours, and it took me a lot longer than a couple of hours. I'm still not even finished. I'm
Yeah,
well, but I'm
I
also
know.
reading the book too, so that might be why. But this has taken me, I would say, at least 12 hours to do. You know, at least
Hmm.
it's not 2 hours worth of reading. So
And
that's what confused me too when she said it was only.
between me and you,
Unless you,
ChatGPT is
well,
getting certified between me and you.
okay,
If you know what I
that's
mean.
interesting. Yeah, I get it.
I can't read all this
Um,
nonsense. You know how great it is to just upload a PDF and I tell ChatGPT just summarize this for me, bullet it out, and it goes all the most
yeah,
important things. It's great.
yeah. I should have figured that out because I download all this stuff and now my computer seems to be running a little slow. So I got to find
Mm,
out how to get these PDFs off my computer
yeah.
and maybe on like a one of those like zip drives or something. Like because I like to keep it still, but I just don't want it to be on my computer 24/7.
Oh
Let's free
yeah,
up some
no, of
space,
course, yeah.
so to speak. I just I just got this computer for God's sakes. So yeah. So speaking of cost,
Why don't you upload them
so
to Google Drive, the files?
well, that's what I meant. Like one of the yeah, I guess I could do it to Google Drive itself. That would probably lower some of the memory, right? Yeah, I guess I
Hmm.
could do that. That probably wouldn't be that hard to do. I just have to do each file, but yeah, yeah. I was thinking
Well,
either that or just putting it in a separate like putting it in a folder and bringing it down for the folder. And that's worked sometimes too in the past.
so what were you saying about cost?
So okay, so I don't my nervousness was now you know what happened, right? Like basically from the text, or
Yep,
do you not understand what those text
I
mean?
understand. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, and you probably heard me talking on this too before you came on,
I
and
missed it. I missed that
so
part.
my worry
I
is
wasn't here.
right, well, so I was fixing the flusher, and I slipped trying to get it tight because it was really loose. I was trying to get it tighter, and I slipped, and within seconds, like it was instantaneous, the cap that had the pump popped off and caused the water to act like Old Faithful and went all over the bathroom and caused a flood about this thick. My thing's a
Floor.
little delayed, so that's why I know I need to clear it up. Like super thick. I had to get like towels. I was all wet. My shoes got totally wet, so which is not good for my feet. Um, and I'm looking for the turnoff valve for the toilet. I don't know why I thought there was a turnoff valve in this toilet, but I'm not finding it. Now there might still
It
be,
should be
but
on the
maybe
floor,
when I was
right?
on the
On the
floor,
floor. Yeah.
that's what I thought, but I could not see it, and I can't. It's hard for me to bend down and go on the ground on the bathroom. At
Yeah.
least ever since. So it might have been something I saw like years ago and remembered it, but I couldn't find it this time. Maybe it's like closer to like maybe you have to like literally go underneath, and it's like not in like natural view. So I had a hard time finding it. I'm getting all wet, getting all like trying to stop the water from blowing. I felt like I Love Lucy, and so I called, and like it was so bad that I had a hard time calling my neighbor. Like my phone kept on like turning off on me,
Right.
and right from the wet fingers and everything. And so I finally got a hold of him. He couldn't help because he was away. He was someplace else,
Oh
which
God.
fine, great. It's that good. So he told me how to turn off the main valve in the other, like all the way on the other side of the apartment. So I had to go in the wet feet, all the wetness, track water on my rug, go turn off the main water valve,
And that
and
turned
then I
off the
found
water
out
for
from
the whole apartment, not even just the kitchen, everything.
yes, right. So I'm gonna see if I can get on the ground. Later on, if I can turn off the toilet, then I can probably turn back on the water for everything
Hmm.
else.
Yes.
We just went to toilet water, and I do have a special key card. Like it's a little thing for the laundromat that if I ever want to do laundry at the middle of the night, I can do that. It's like one of the perks of
Okay.
being in this apartment. So I gave it to my roommate. I said, okay, leave it on here on this table, and if you have to use the bathroom, well, I have to use the bathroom. We're gonna have to go downstairs and use the bathroom there. And I brought some toilet paper to give them, like just some extra toilet paper and stuff. Um, so I think I covered my tracks, and they were pretty understanding, but I think the owner, because I showed pictures to the landlord, and she's like, it doesn't look like yeah, it looks bad, damaged ceiling tiles, but how the hell can you tell, or heck, whatever. I know we're on TV, I guess technically. How the heck can you tell when there's damage to electrical when you don't even look at the electrical?
Well, they're
All the
claiming that
electrical, like
they're claiming there was
the
damage to
electrical.
electrical.
Yeah, they're claiming like they're saying like all this damage, and meanwhile the ceiling fan's still working. None of the lights are out. Like
Yeah.
you know, and so I don't think there's as much damage. I think I swept it up as much as possible. Yeah, it probably leaked enough to damage the tiles. And what will the tiles be? You replace them. You go to Home Depot and you replace the tiles. It's like
Yeah.
maybe $200. for like a box of tiles. You just buy the box and that's it, you know.
And these are for the tiles
And
in the ceiling tiles.
yeah, the ceiling tiles. Oh, not the
Yeah.
floor tiles. Yeah, no ceiling tiles.
Yeah.
But you know, those the places are they like have that like wetness and they
Yeah.
absorb the water and everything. You know, and I'm fine with that. I mean, yes, there's a part of me that's like, okay, are we sure that this is totally 100% what happened with me? Because some of them seem a little darker, you know. So it's like, are we sure that they weren't always this way? You know that, you know, but you know, I mean, it's a new
Yeah.
owner of the
And I
laundromat,
understand.
and
I understand how
we
it's
don't really
stressful.
know.
I understand.
Yeah. So the landlord said that anything is going to be my responsibility. I do have renters insurance, so hopefully they'll take care of a lot of it. But my stress is I'm willing to pay no matter what the damage is because I'd
Hmm.
like to take care of my own responsibilities. But it'd be so much easier. I just like to need I whenever I ask a certain question, I tend to like to have it answered right away to kind of relieve some stress. And when
Yeah.
somebody doesn't answer that question right away, I get even more stressed. And the question I asked was, would it be possible for me to do a payment plan, right, rather than trying to come up with couple $1,000s in one shot?
Hmm.
Because the tiles would be only a couple hundred, but we all know that the electrical work and stuff would be close to a couple grand or more. You know, so I just want to know if I can do a payment plan. You know, pay every week until it's all paid up. You know, or something, or even increase the rent a little bit. You know, like whatever. You know, and you know, no answer. So that's a little frustrating. But I'm here now with you guys. So
Yeah. I know it's.
okay. So Bruce is saying the insurance should cover the deductible, and I think I only have like of the renter's insurance. I think I only have like $25 left to pay on it for the year, so it should be fully paid. So I should have the deductible and everything paid up. You know. So hopefully, I mean, I'll find out what I have to do to call the insurance company and all that stuff. But there's just a lot on the plate, a little bit more than I
Yeah.
expected. Luckily, I don't go to work until the
And this stuff, is always unexpected. It's the worst. I was at PC Richards
now.
because
You know now.
we had to buy a new washing machine because ours broke. So during I was late for
Oh,
Dr. Kills because I had to go to PC Richards.
yeah. Well, you think
You
you were
know,
late? I was hardly there. I was late, and I text
I
like for some
saw
reason
you
I
were
wasn't.
there, but then you were gone. You were walked away from your
Yeah,
computer.
well, I was telling my roommate what happened. He was downstairs when the flood happened, and so he came up, and I had to explain to him about the water and everything because I have no water now. I had turned the whole water off, so there's no water in my house at all. Oh, deductible is different than the premium, so I'm not really sure. I'll find out. Hopefully, the deductible's not that much. I mean, I guess if it's super damage and deductible is like a fraction of the damage cost, I guess that's still better. But I don't know if I'd be able to pay installments in that or not. So, because they never had any reason to pay anything other than the premium.
Yeah.
You know, so I never had a flood in my ups in my bathroom before. You know, now if I'm going to go down there and break my neck, just kidding, I'm not going to break my neck, but I'm going to go down there. And if I see that valve and it's just in a really bad spot, I'm going to start cursing the world. I'm going to be like, you know, because But I was tempted. I was tempted to get the cupcake, and that's why I texted you because I figured that
Yep.
would be like some kind of event. So I thank you for
And
that.
I
And then I
said no,
thought, well, I
no
do want,
cupcake.
yeah, which that's good, but it's
We
like
know no
okay, it
cupcake. We
really,
know.
yeah. Um, that's like an alcoholic that's drinking, and he's like, oh, I really want a beer, and you're just like, no drink. Okay,
No
I'll
beer.
stop then.
Well, listen, that might be all you need. You never know, but
Yeah.
obviously, I
Um,
recognize that it's more
but
complicated
then
than that.
Sandy was like, yeah, get some. I was like, well, what if I just do cheese? Because then I'm only cheating on the Lion Diet, and I'm not really cheating on carnivore, you know.
No cheese.
So, I'm not having any cheese either. Well, the place is closed. The place closes at like 9 o'clock. So by the time I get down there and everything, it's going to be too late.
Perfect.
So
Let it close.
you know,
Tomorrow's a new day.
I think if I get today, I got a lot of good stuff at the grocery store. I went to Walmart after the
Oh,
blood work, and I got myself a lamb breast. So I don't know what that is, but I'm sure lamb breast is a lot better than chicken breast. You know,
yeah.
about the size of my forearm, like from here to all the way to there.
Wow.
So it's
How many
huge.
pound? How
I
many
mean, it's
pounds is
definitely
it?
going to feed me. Like 4 pounds or something like that.
Oh, nice. Good. So it's for a few
So
meals.
I have. It's definitely going to be at least 3 meals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, depending on how hungry I am. Lamb, I don't really eat an overabundance of lamb. I like lamb, but I can't really like. It's not like beef. I can eat a lot of beef, but lamb is a little different. Lamb's a little stronger,
Okay.
so you know, and then I finally got a couple of ribeyes.
Oh,
Never had a
good.
ribeye yet. Got a couple of ribeyes and was pretty disappointed because I'm looking at them. I'm like, holy shit! For this price, this is pretty small. You know, because it was only like this big. It was like super tiny. So I don't know if it's just a part of it or something, but it was
What
just
was
the
the
size was
price
just.
per
I'm like,
pound?
I'm
What was
gonna
the
need to
price per
eat both
pound?
of them to satisfy me. Well, the whole price came to. I'm not sure how much it was per pound, but the whole price one came to like $13, and the other one was like $14.
Okay.
So it was probably like $6 a pound or something like that. You know, $6, $7 a pound. So I'll take a look later on, but I just don't want to be rude, and because it's all the way on the other side of the on the
No,
other
it's
side
okay.
of the
Yeah.
apartment. You know, I
I
mean, you'll
buy
actually
all my
see them when you
meat.
see the video, but I'm not
I buy
putting the
all my
video
meat
in.
depending on the price per pound. I don't I don't buy ribeyes just for ribeyes because
Right.
they need to be the right price.
And then I got not like a chuck roast, not like the great big, you know, like it's like about that thick.
Yeah.
Those great big roasts. I got that. It was on sale. It was like normally $20. I got it on sale for 12. So
Good.
I ate that first because I figured it was a date thing. So I figured like,
Yeah.
why not? I'll just have it today.
So that
So
had
I had
the
that. I
yellow
did
sticker on it? Yellow sticker?
yes.
Hmm.
So I had that today, the whole thing. But I had two different meals, so I split it up. I didn't have it just in one meal.
Good.
And I also bought a 2 pound roast beef,
Oh,
which
nice.
the sad thing. Hey Danny, how you doing? Um, okay, so I mean, Bruce, it could have been 1 pound. Like I said, I didn't really check the poundage, and it's pretty small, so it could have been $14, $16 a pound. So I think I might just end up eating both of them in one shot because I don't think one's going to be enough for me, unless I add stuff to it. And I don't want to add anything to it, you know.
Well, why
But
don't
you know, it's
you
kind of
can
funny.
mix
Like
it, you can mix one of the ribeyes with maybe a cheaper piece of beef, you know? Um,
that's true, like burgers or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
I think that
true.
would be
I could do
that'd
like
be a
three.
better
I could
meal
do three burger patties.
than that
Oh
baby
God,
ribeye.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Splits it up. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I just know I can't eat
six
only the
dollars per pound
ribeyes.
for ribeye is what I pay like at Christmas time for the whole rib
Right.
roast. It's like 6.99 a pound.
Yeah. I mean, and the size that it was, I doubt it was 2 pounds. So it probably was only a
Hmm.
pound anyway. So it's probably like $13 for the 1 pound. Then I got the roast. I did that, and I got the roast beef. Now the sad thing about the roast beef is, I paid about $17 for 2 pounds of roast beef. That's a lot of roast beef. That's
Now
going to last me for quite a while because it's
this is already like shaved or you have to is it the actual okay.
no, it's a shaved. I have I don't
Okay.
have a slicer, so yeah, it's the already shaved, which is like I sort of got it to like if I want a snack or something like that, like, and that's what I'm thinking now. If I do get a little hungry, I could just grab some roast beef and just have that with some salt, and
Mhm.
that will be my cheat because technically I'm not cheating at all. I'm just
Yeah.
cheating on the time I eat, you know. And
And
then
you can even buy a very lean piece of meat, whether it be London broil or Eye of Round, and you can actually make your own roast beef. You won't be able to cut it as thin, but it tastes just
Right.
as good. And I have a really good recipe I can
Right.
send you for
Speaking
that.
of London broil, that's two. That's I got 2
Mhm.
London broils too.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah. So
then
you can cook it that way.
right, but this is the sad thing. Like I've been going to give them some business. I've been going to the pizza place, and because I'm trying to give them some business, trying to be nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the only thing I can get is either seltzer water or roast beef. At this point, especially with the line dye. Before I could get cheese or whatever, I could
hmm
get bologna stuff, or not bologna, but whatever. But now it's
Yeah.
just the roast beef. It's the only thing that they don't contaminate. And I'm still giving them business. Well, they charge me for just the roast beef, nothing else, no bread, no lettuce, no tomato, no cheese, nothing, just a plate of roast beef. They charge me about $16 for the plate.
And how many
Meanwhile,
pounds
it's
would you
nowhere
say
near
that
two.
was?
That's probably like close to a quarter pound at the most.
So think about how much you're paying per
You
pound for
know,
that.
I know that's the sad. That's
Yeah.
the sad part. I was even telling my roommate. I said, you know how much I spent for this 2 pounds of roast beef? I said I spent $17 on this, and he knows about how much I pay, and he's a little bit upset with them too. Like we still go, he still goes there and everything like that, which is fine. I'm not telling him to stop. It's like I'm not that way. Hey Juliet, how you doing? Yes, it is live. You're not watching a replay. So, she was asking for watching a replay. So,
Well,
um,
she was coming to watch the
even you thought,
replay, and then she clicked it, and you were still
right?
talking.
Yeah, yes, that's funny. Um, you have to watch the replay though to find out what happened though, why I'm doing it live. So,
Yeah,
sorry about that,
yeah.
Juliet.
Later, you have to
But
watch the
I think
beginning.
I,
Yeah.
I think everybody here does not want to hear me saying it again. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Which you may either die.
I think you'll be better.
I think I'm gonna stop going to the pizza place.
Yeah. I think you just your money can get you a lot
Yeah,
more if you go to the
I'll,
supermarket.
I'll get the seltzer or the water, and that's about it. You know. Did I
What
take the
quiz?
quiz
What
yet?
quiz?
You talking about the A1C quiz, like my blood test?
Or the kilts quiz?
Well, do Kills have a quiz?
No, I mean like on the. I don't know if the work if the certification has a quiz, and I don't even
Well,
know.
is she in the There's so many people in the coaching course. It's hard to tell
I
like who's
know
in,
it's
who's
hard to
not.
tell where people are where. I know.
I mean, I sort of, for the first time saw. I still didn't really meet him, but I still, for the first
Oh
time,
yeah,
saw
she
Bill.
said kilts
Um,
kilts his course. So
okay,
where is
okay.
there a quiz at
I'm
the
sorry,
end?
Julie. I didn't, I didn't even realize you were in that course. I
I think
mean,
she went too far. She went too far. We were talking about how
yeah.
I'm not going to finish it all in time for Wednesday, and that ChatGPT is going to be a great health coach.
I mean, I am going to try to finish more. Right now, I just have the book. I'm like 40 pages into the book, so I still have like 30 more pages to go. But
hmm
um, it'll depend on how much gets done tomorrow and how like my eyes are just like a little like off course. So if I don't finish it, I'm sorry, Dr. Nelson.
Are you
I
kidding
did
me?
my best,
They're not going to know.
and
It's such a mess. It's such a mess. They're not going to know.
I
It's
know,
fine. You're going to finish it on your own
I know.
speed. We're going to see what they're going to talk about on Wednesday. I
Yeah.
don't even know. But tomorrow when I'm at the office, I'll work on it some more. And And then on Wednesday, I'm working from home. I'll work on it some more, but I'll do my best I can. I'll do a
So
lot of it, but I'm not
so
gonna
does that
finish
mean
it.
that you're like working on helping? Are you helping Alia with that? Is that what you're saying? Like,
I'm
are
giving
you
Alia a
helping?
lot of feedback, and it's not good.
Oh yeah. No, I gave her one feedback that I caught. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know. There's one section that I noticed, and I did a snapshot of the words, and then I said about the video. But there's a section where it's a video and them talking, and I'm trying to think of which section it is. I don't have it in
hmm
front of me right now, or do I? Hold on.
There was one quiz that there was no question. And there was no answers. It was like option one.
Well, okay. I did not get, all right, when they said multiple choice. When you hear multiple choice, doesn't it usually mean that there's more than one choice? The word multiple, doesn't that usually indicate at least two choices,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Well, there's a section where it does the quiz, and it says multiple choice, but they only give you one choice.
Right. And it said like option one or something was the choice.
Yeah, option A or something like that. And you
Yeah.
click on option A, and it's like, yeah,
It's
you're
not
correct. Well, of
it's
course I'm
not
correct.
yeah.
It's the only
The
choice
quiz
they
is
had.
broke. Yeah, Juliet says the quiz is broke. The whole thing is broke.
Okay,
But whatever.
right.
It's fine.
So I found that kind of comical. I didn't say anything because I'm like, well, maybe they're just being kind and they're just like trying to be like, okay, they're just giving us the answer with the quiz and just saying it's a quiz,
Yes.
like some kind of stupid, you know. So because then when I got to the next quiz, it had two choices, so it was multiple choice. But guess what the answer was? It was both of them.
There's no wrong
So it was
answer.
like, yeah, there was no wrong answer. So maybe that's the point. Maybe the point is there's no wrong answer in these things. So Juliet says that she lost her 1,800 word essay. Yeah, I didn't write an 1,800 word essay. I think I
Oh,
hardly wrote. I think I hardly wrote 300 words, let alone
that
1,800
would
words.
be I would not be happy if ChatGPT.
You worked on 1,800 words and then you lost it. That's
So
yeah.
yeah, so
I would be
maybe
very
a good strategy for the future, since we know that this platform can be buggy, is to work like in Word or Google Docs or text edit, and then once you're finished, copy and paste it. Yeah. I know the
right.
platform. I knew
Which
you didn't lose it. I knew it was the platform.
yeah, which you just brought something up. My old computer, I didn't
Yeah.
have Word on it.
Oh,
Okay, and I did get a little inspired with Kiltz, some of the things he was saying and everything like that. There's this. I think you know what section I'm talking about. And yeah, dog ate it. That's funny. And I've been trying. I told you about the book I wrote as a kid, and I stopped
yes.
because a family member sort of told me how crazy I was for writing the book and everything like that. But it's
Mhm.
just something that's always been in my head. It's a science fiction book, so of course there's weird stuff in it. And I've been wanting to write it again, but I just never have. And he sort of inspired me to actually go back into the writing. And what made it even more inspirational is when I found out that this computer has Word already programmed into it. So I don't
Oh,
have to pay an extra in order to get Word. I don't have to put
nice,
it in
nice.
separately. So once I'm done with the course, then I'm going to take some time and I'm going to start going back into. I still have my written pages, so I'm going to go back to the written pages and I mean, now I have 30 years later, so a lot of my knowledge is a lot different now than when I was a kid. Actually, more than 30 years. I think I was 16 when I wrote. So, you know, so if you do the math, it's like over 40 years of
Yeah,
of it sitting there. And so I'll try to write that short that comic book again, or
that'd be
whatever you want
cool.
to call it. I mean, just the writing. I mean, I'll probably do some illustrations and stuff like that, but I don't know if I'll actually do a comic book style, you know.
Oh, write
But
the
I know,
story, write that stuff first, and the illustrations can always follow later.
right? Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of science fiction books where it's an actual book, and then within the book, the illustrations. So I think that might actually be a little bit more. Um, I think I like that idea more than trying to do separate boxes, you know. So I mean, who
Cool.
knows if it gets published or not? I had one person say that she'd buy the book from me, but I don't know if it would be published or not. So, but thank you for whoever said that. It was probably Sandy that said it. It's usually Sandy that says nice things like that. But
Does he draw too? Are you kidding me? He draws. That's his main thing.
yeah, I
Julie's
draw. I
asking if
draw
you.
quite a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Um, Yeah, I had to get back into it, so this inspired me to get back into it. So that was pretty good about the reading. I did get inspired by that.
Did you have
Um,
any? Did you go in any meetings with SBG? I want to know what they're saying about the meetup.
they were closed down today, so they're not open until tomorrow. They
Okay.
canceled all their meetings for today. Probably still cleaning up from the meetup that they had.
Yeah, recovering.
So, um, yeah. There's actually a video I did, Juliet, of my drawings. I just can't remember which one. That was a while ago. I guess I could do another video and update it. You know, do a lot of trees. I gotta admit. That's like my big fortitude lately is trees. I don't know why. Which is weird because my analogy for carnivore and for diabetes or for insulin resistance is trees. Like
Mm.
the trunk is the carnivore or the insulin resistance, and everything that's caused by it is you know tracks to everything else. And actually, I'm thinking about changing that to. I know it sounds crazy, but I think the really base problem is not really insulin resistance. I think the base problem is carb addiction. I think that the carbs sort of like bring on the insulin, and the more addicted you are to the carbs, the more the problem becomes and persists. And I think that that's really the trunk, or at least the roots of the problem. You know, I mean, I could be wrong, but the more I'm hearing things, it just makes a lot of sense. You know, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that carb addiction be a big issue with a lot of diabetics? I hear a plane landing. Hello?
I lost you for a second. I can't hear anything.
I can see that. Are you okay now? Oh, he's gonna either he'll come back or Steven. I'm not sure who Steven is.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. No, I was saying about how like my tree is for the
Yeah.
insulin resistance is the base. But the more I think about it, the more like you like here. I'm guessing you're still here. You're just not visible. Um, the more you hear things, it sounds to me more like carb addiction is sort of the biggest base of the problem because I mean that causes so many issues of us eating so many carbs, you know. So I can't help but think that that's at least the roots, maybe not the trunk, but it's at least the roots, of the problem.
Yeah,
Insulin
it's
resistance is still a
definitely
pretty big base,
yeah, but it's
but
almost like which came
you
first,
know,
chicken or the egg, you know? Because carb addiction
yeah,
causes insulin
yeah.
resistance, but also chronically elevated insulin levels cause us to crave carbohydrates. So it really is like
So it kind of is
a
like a
circle.
cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Stephen. Oh, today, Stephen was on with Richard.
No, just Richard
So
was on,
Juliet
but
was saying that she.
Steven, yeah.
Oh, was okay. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Mhm.
I reversed Stephen and was and didn't think that. So that's my fault. Um,
No, today was a really
yeah,
good
Juliet was
meeting.
just saying that
Yeah.
she quit SBG and she quit Dr. Barry, and she's just doing the free
Yeah,
pills now.
I
And
quit
she also has to.
SPG. I quit SPG and Dr. Barry, I can't quit Dr. Barry. I'm grandfathered into last year's price, so it's cheaper than if I was to sign up today. And if I ever cancel,
Yeah,
I'll
and
lose that
his
price.
thing is
So
moving up too. So, yeah. Yeah, and the reason why I'm with Bella is because she felt, I guess my story, I guess my story was powerful enough to get a free membership from her. Not really powerful enough to be
We'll
on her.
call it a scholarship. Scholarship.
Yes, okay, that's a good word. So I got a scholarship with Bella, and then I got some entry fees in with Healing Humanities, so I still pay them, but I got in. I got through the door, and it was enough to
Right.
be like, and I really do like Carrie. Carrie's pretty good to me. So,
Yeah, I think Healing
I like a
Humanity.
lot. I like every
Healing Humanity is the best one.
right. Yeah, I mean, like I'm. Yeah, I think I told you already that Carrie's going to be on my channel on the 22nd. Did I tell you about
Oh,
that?
you didn't tell me the date. You told me that you
The
told me it
22nd.
happened. Yeah, great.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry. The 22nd
Mhm.
of this month. So he's going to be on, and I'm not going to keep it secret. I'm telling everybody, and there's a certain rivalry going on that I'm hoping doesn't have a problem, if that makes any sense. You
Don't worry
know,
about that. Don't worry about that stuff.
you understand with what I'm saying?
With Rick,
You do. I know you do. I know you do. Yes.
just block him. No, I'm just
Um,
kidding. I'm just kidding.
yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, because
I'm just
I
kidding.
know,
I'm just kidding.
I know there's an issue, and I know there's a stress behind it. But I think it's also a logical answer to whatever's going on. You know,
It's also not our
and
problem. Let them deal
no,
with
it's
it.
not. Well,
Yeah.
if I have Carrie on my channel and he causes a problem, then yeah, it does become my problem. But
He won't. He won't. He won't.
you're right. Yeah, I know Rick is pretty good, so I don't think Rick's gonna. But he was
He
saying
won't.
today that he's not gonna hold any bounds and he's gonna like answer, but you know, and he can ask anything he wants. And if Carrie wants to answer it, then he can answer it. But I'm not gonna just willy nilly put it on the screen.
Rick is live right now?
Edmund, who we met,
Yes, I saw
yeah, he's
Edmund's
on.
interview with Dave Mack today. He did a great job, Edmund. I had no idea he was 51 years
Yeah,
old. He looks like he is my age.
yeah. I didn't see the interview yet, but I will. You know, um,
Actually, that
Lexi's
reminds
supposed
me,
to
I
be
want to
interviewed
post it
by
on my
Dave
Facebook
Mack.
and tag him. He's such a nice man, that guy.
Oh,
Such a
yeah,
nice guy.
yeah.
Let me
I'm trying to think
see.
who Edmund was. I know I've met him, but I just can't think.
During the presentations, he
I'll
was
see when I'm
in the
done.
front. He was recording the whole thing on his phone.
Oh, okay, okay, yes. I know who that is. Okay, so I didn't know his name. I guess and this stupid cold is not really making me too alert. So you should see my clothes. My clothes are like drenched. You
I know, I'm
know,
sorry.
like if I could put my clothes to the screen, you would actually be able to feel how wet they are. And I got my kilt hat. Was wearing the kilt hat, and I got that all wet too. So I just put it hung up in the shower, and hopefully that will dry in the shower. But I got my shoes wet, so
So
lucky for
right
me,
now
I had
you
two
have
pairs of
no you
shoes.
right now you have no water?
No water. Well, unless you count the water that's in the refrigerator.
Running, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But sometimes you make jokes in the worst situations. Laura Russell. So we know Rick is with Russ right now because Laura's here. Hey, Laura, how you doing?
Just posted it.
Um, if anybody like to come on other than Lewis, just let me
Amy
know and
Hosp.
I'll put it in
Amy
the chat.
Hosp is in the house.
All
All
right. So
right.
you know what? I'm going to put the
Remember what I
link in
remember
the
when I texted you that
chat just in case.
I was sleep deprived? I had to go to sleep.
Yes.
And I think
Okay.
honestly, it's amazing because
So while
my blood sugar was higher today, and I think it was
okay,
because
while
I
he's
was sleep
talking, I'm going to
deprived.
turn off the camera and
Oh, okay. I'm supposed to keep talking, I guess. I'm sorry. So is anyone listening to Rick also? What he's saying? Anything exciting?
Sorry about that. Something tells me you guys just do not want to see me blow my nose and hear the honking. So
I feel like we would
I'm
see
just
it,
trying to be
but seeing it
courteous.
is fine if there's no sound. If there's sound, then it's a little bit too much. So just mute.
Well, do you remember when I was on with Mitch and that I covered it up?
Yeah.
I covered up the camera with my thumb, but then I forgot to mute it. So Mitch is
Yes,
like
I
talking and all of a
remember
sudden like
that.
honk. So it's probably why I'm really cautious because it like just like everybody's like, which is funny, but still. Yeah. You see what you guys miss by not being a member of with Mitch. You miss me honking my nose. So
This is how I like my
I am
microplastics. I
yes
like my
I am taking the
microplastics
elderberry,
with
Laurel.
my Italian sparkling mineral water. Bruce, you think I'm drinking soda? Come
Mm.
on, man. This is
You know why
Costco
Bruce said that?
brand.
Because he's drinking soda.
No, we don't drink no
And
soda
would
over
you
here.
put it in? Because it is a little. It does look like ginger ale.
Yeah, it's the
So
Costco brand
what'd you put in?
Pellegrino.
Okay.
That's it.
I mean, this is what I treated myself to. It's the Topo Chico.
I
And
took
yes,
my
I know
last.
Topo Chico's made by Coke and
I
all
saw you
that
open
stuff.
that during the Kilts Live. I said, "Oh, there's Topo Chico."
See, I gotta show off a little
I
bit, you
finished
know.
eating at
Like,
5 p.m. And like I said, it must be because I'm sleep deprived. Like I've been very, very peckish. Like I feel like I could eat. So I've been working very hard at not eating anything after dinner. So I did good. I just been drinking stuff, clear, water and stuff. Yeah, sorry, Bruce. I'm just kidding. I know I'm not drinking Coke.
well,
It's all good.
actually, not to be mean, it doesn't look like Coke because Coke's a lot darker than that. It looked more like you
Even the
watered
label,
it
I guess
down.
maybe this could look like
Right.
a Diet Coke. The
It looks more
silver.
like ginger ale to me.
Let's see what's the
Like it
ingredient
looks
is.
more
The
like ginger
first
ale.
ingredient
Yeah.
is microplastics. The second ingredient is mineral water. There he goes. There he
Sorry.
goes. You're fine. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, that was uncontrollable.
That came
If I
on
have
very
another bout,
suddenly, though.
I'll mute then. You did.
Danny, I
You
wish I
did.
would lose my appetite in the heat.
If I know when it's coming, then I'll turn everything. Then I'll turn off the volume and everything. But if I don't know it's coming, that's where the problem. LOL first ingredient. Yeah.
Yeah, microplastics. Yeah.
Like that's funny that they put microplastics as the first
No, they
ingredient.
don't. They don't.
I'm
I
thinking
added
that
that.
you just
I
made
added that. I did make it up. I did make it up.
yeah.
Because right away it's like, oh, you're drinking out of a
That's your form
plastic
of sarcasm.
bottle. You're drinking out of a plastic bottle. I said, yes, I am. I eat only meat, and I'm drinking out of a plastic bottle. Yes, leave me alone.
Well, there are some things that like there's some things that are just like sort of like, okay, I gotta calm down on my strictness a little bit, like it's like every single time you like do the rules, it's like, oh well, now we gotta be stricter again, now we gotta be stricter again, and like
Hmm.
and like we believe in what we believe in, but at the same time, carnivore is carnivore.
Yeah,
And if we are carnivore, and we have plastic bottles. Well, that doesn't mean we're not carnivore anymore.
no,
That just means that we're not as phased by the plastic bottle thing as somebody else would be.
I have
And
some.
I
I
mean,
have
I have plastic bottles right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, when I went away, I had plastic bottles
yeah, of
um,
course. Everything is
because it was
plastic.
cheaper. I'm not going to bring glass bottles in a backpack onto a train, because they
No,
could break. I'm not going to do that. You know. And it just doesn't make sense. And plus, it makes it heavier, So I'll just do a few plastic bottles of the water, and that's what I did for him. he can use the water filter, but once it's empty, then he has a hard time filling it up.
Mm.
So I just got the Walmart water, the really cheap water. Guess who's joining us?
Oh,
I'm bringing him on. So
You don't
we
you don't
have
have
Bruce
to
in the
hear
line.
how you do.
I'm sorry about the
Hey,
airplanes. I think LaGuardia is their flight path is over my house right now.
Oh, okay. So there's two East Coast
oh,
guys.
okay.
Yeah, that's right. Here's my
Uh,
Diet Coke.
It's not.
yeah.
It's not those drones.
This is a
It's
local
not those drones in New Jersey.
sparkling water. So
I since I've been doing Lion Diet since June 1st, I have not had any flavored drink. Like not even flavor. I would always drink flavored seltzer. I love that stuff. I love Coke Zero.
Right.
I love Coke Zero. But I try not to drink them because I'll drink like four of them if I open one of them. And I've been feeling really good, not having any sweet flavors or flavors at all. So gonna keep going.
so is Coke Zero kind of carnivore approved? I mean, not
No,
definitely not lion, but no.
no. I mean,
No,
it's no carb,
absolutely not.
and 0 calories, but
Yeah.
it definitely
Yeah.
will trigger. It's sweet. It triggers something in you. You know.
What does Dr. Barry call it? The cephalic insulin, cephalic
Response.
phase
Yeah.
insulin response. Yeah, that's it.
But
Yeah.
there's tons of people that just eat meat and also drink Coke Zero. So
Yeah,
you know.
I'm not really
I
all
mean,
that strict about
I
it.
think one or two bottles here and there is not going to be that big of a deal. But,
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I'm not really all that strict about it. I'm definitely I've thought about going lion occasionally, but married to a committed non-carnivore, it's as much as I can do. Just eat just meat. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm in the same place.
So
Amy says that Dr. Barry, okay,
Yeah.
I guess he's like
That's Dr. Barry's
friends with
evil
Dr.
twin.
Barry.
Yeah. Evil twin.
Yes, says if Amy, we're going to teach you on that, right? Says
I'm
if
gonna
you're
take a
doing
screenshot. I'm gonna
keto,
send
you
it to
could
Dr.
drink a
Barry.
soft. Do that. It'll be like, who are you guys? This game.
okay, I'm hearing
You could
an
drink a
echo.
soft drink. Well, I hope
Is
it's
it-
not me because I have to leave my camera on for the most part. Can you hear it? Can you still hear it?
No, I'm not hearing it now.
What do you hear? Is it me?
Okay.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess it only came on when I came on. I don't know if it's just my computer or what.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Laura says that
You can drink
lion
a
diet
soft
is
drink.
so easy.
No thought needed.
Let
Yeah,
me
it's
do
probably
this.
true. I
It's
don't really
true
think
because you're
that
so
much.
limited, and I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, basically, okay, so Amy's saying soft drink, but he suggests that you drink a little bit less of it every day, every single day, especially if you're transitioning from the American diet. So
I think he doesn't.
he's like,
Also,
it's
Dr.
okay
Barry
as long
suggests mixing it
as
with
long as you do
seltzer
it
to water
at
it
all.
down.
Right. And believe me, watered down soda is not that delicious. So I just drink seltzer basically, or
It's the best.
sparkling
I
mineral
love it.
water.
Please remember when
Yeah.
when we drove to Boston?
I
I brought
mean,
that
it's
whole case of the seltzer cans.
in pop I got into that.
Yeah.
No, all the TVs are off in my apartment, unless my roommate has his TV on, but I can't really hear it. No. And if I can't hear it, then I don't think you guys are gonna be able to hear that.
Bruce, are you in New York as well?
No, I'm in Texas.
Oh, Texas. Yeah.
Just about an hour north of
Oh.
Houston.
Nice. So you can be friends with Amy.
Cool.
Amy.
Amy Hosp. She's in Texas also.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of us in Texas.
I know, tons of you guys. I'm
Hey,
looking for like
we're,
one
Yeah,
person
I
in
think
New York.
we're a cow state.
I think
What?
Carnivore has a hub.
Yeah, that Dr. Barry, let me tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, Amy actually went on to the joke that Dr. Barry might say something different than Dr. Barry. So,
Thank
and
you,
Laura
Laura.
says she doesn't hear anything.
Yeah.
So. So I think this is your first time on my channel, Bruce. Welcome.
Yes, it is.
So Bruce, where do we normally see each other? Is it with Kilts or is it with somewhere
Yeah,
else?
Kilts is usually a little early for me. Actually, I do get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I'm usually on the phone with my dad through the Kilts' show.
Okay. Oh, so do we see each other on Mitch's
Yeah.
channel? Yes, that's what.
Probably see
Probably
him a lot on home.
Russ's.
Ah, okay.
I usually pop on Russ's
Good fuck
channel,
up.
and
Yeah.
I was hanging out with the lionesses until they
Slowed down.
slowed down. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you were gonna say. Slow down. Went GLP-1
Imploded.
crazy.
One of those.
I don't know. One of
Yeah.
those things. Yeah. I love Adrian.
One
She's
of those.
great.
Yeah.
Oh god.
All the girls are
I
great.
like all of them. They're all good.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
Adrian's my
Adrian
favorite.
is doing her.
Ellie's like
She's mine too. She's doing her experiment. She's trying to learn.
Yes.
Her n equals 1. She's trying to figure out what works for her.
Yes. She is.
well, you know what's
And
funny
that's
is
what we all
I
can
was
do.
watching a live of Ellie. Yeah, I was watching a live of Ellie last Tuesday, and it was only me and Josephine that were on there with her, and she was just basically painting a big, huge canvas picture, and it was just the way she was doing was just very peaceful and very nice. You know, it's very relaxing. So it's kind of cool. You know, it kind of like she reminded you like the female Bob Ross type thing. You know, it's just like
The lionesses, nothing happened to them. They just
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
temporarily dispersed.
each
I
of
guess.
them in their lives got very busy. So they haven't been doing their weekly live. So
Didn't they
they
do one
actually
like a
went
couple of weeks ago?
they did one
Didn't they do a
recently,
live
very, very recently, and
like
they
a
kind
couple
of
weeks,
explained,
yeah, 2 or 3 weeks ago? Yeah,
yeah, and they explained like why they were missing for like a month. That's it. They're just
yeah.
busy.
So yeah, I mean, I think but I like watching them. You know,
Yeah, I love their channel. It's great.
yeah,
It's great.
and I
did-
think I fully met Bruce on Nia Nova.
That's right.
When I was on the panel. That's the first time that
Oh,
we
cool.
met. Like I knew you before that from Russ, but that was the first
Mhm.
time that we actually talked to each other.
Yeah, face to face like this. Yeah.
You know, and that's when I met John Laspina and DC,
Mhm.
and I already knew Rick and Papa, so that you can't really count them. But
Right.
yeah, so
Oh.
yeah, that's first time for everything. I'm not sure if we had any, but Aaron was on there too. I already knew Aaron too.
Aaron's a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm interviewing her this Thursday, right?
Thursday? Okay.
Yeah,
What time?
Yeah.
11?
Live, huh?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
2 p.m.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. So that's 1 o'clock my time.
Are you an hour from me? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm in Central.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I'm
let's see.
Eastern, so
You said Thursday?
Thursday
Got
on
me,
the 10th.
I mean, you got me here looking at my calendar here.
Or listen, there's always the replay, right? Like and
That's more
subscribe.
likely than not. Middle of the day like that will more likely than not have to be replay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I mean, the only bad thing about replay is you can't really make fun of like Aaron or anything like that. So
Why
Yeah,
would you
I
want to
know.
make fun of Aaron?
It does get frustrating. It's like you hear somebody say something
He
on
doesn't
live,
hear me.
and you want to. Oh, I want to say something. Oh no, I can't.
It's like, it doesn't work now.
Yeah. I would have loved to have been able to say something about that. But
All
then
right, gotta go to
usually
work with the
somebody
client.
comes on and says what you were wanting to say anyway. So it got said. So
Yeah. Lexus, does that shock you that I'm still alive? Or I
What?
mean, still alive?
Oh, you're still alive. I was like, that's terrible, but she
I
didn't
mean,
say
I
that.
made the joke that I'm still alive. You know?
yeah, we're
Yes, we have
surprised you're still
decided
alive,
that
Thomas.
we are doing a 24-hour live stream. We are 2
Yeah.
hours in.
And that's it.
Like, if I have to leave, then I'll just leave, and they can take over, and vice versa. We can get other
All right.
people on.
I just got a
That's the
text
only way we'd be able
message.
to do a 24-hour live is if we all interchange.
We would have to take turns and give each other breaks. Yeah.
But if it's
So I
any
just
consolation, this thing only gives me 6 hours, so I wouldn't be able to do that anyway.
I just
Like,
got a text from a friend asking a question. I'm going to ask you guys that question.
okay.
Okay.
What are you buying on Amazon Prime Day tomorrow? Anything?
It's Amazon Prime Day tomorrow.
Yeah, it's actually 3 days of Prime Day.
Okay.
So starting
I knew it
tomorrow.
was coming up. My wife's big on Amazon Prime, obviously, but I
Yeah.
don't pay much attention
Wow.
to it.
Excuse me.
So there's a few things
Don't know.
I've been like saving to see if it goes on sale. So like my wife Michelle needs more electrolytes. That always goes on sale. So she gets she takes electrolyte pills because she hates the taste of salty. I don't understand her.
Hmm.
And then yeah, I'll see what happens. I'm sure there'll be lots of little boxes appearing at my house over the next few days.
They have
Yeah.
electrolyte pills.
Yeah.
My
Well,
my wife has the same problem. The only thing, and of course, again, non-carnivore, but she has Addison's disease, so she has to
Mm.
have a lot of electrolytes. But she cannot stand the taste of any of the. And I've gotten salty, and I've gotten what's the other one? Uh,
Element. I'm sure you tried
Element.
Element.
I've gotten
Element's
Element,
too
and
salty. Yeah.
she just doesn't like. She says there's an aftertaste that she's not a big fan of. So I never thought about there being pills that she could be taking.
Yeah,
That would
there
be
is. If you
electrolyte
Google it, you
pills.
can find it.
Okay,
all right.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
So that is the wrong question. The question is, Lewis, what are you buying me on Amazon Prime tomorrow?
Amy, it's a great. You know what? You really did ask the right question. You're spot on. Spot on.
Okay,
I
so
don't
Lucas,
know.
what are you buying, Amy, from
I
Amazon
don't know.
Prime?
You know why my friend asked me that? Because she
Does your
doesn't
wife
want to
know
think
about
about
this?
it. And she's like, oh, what is Lewis buying? That's something that I should buy then. I don't know. I don't know what I'm buying tomorrow yet. But that's what's great about Prime Day. You just scroll Amazon, the algorithm suggests products. You say, oh, and how much
Yeah.
are these things really on sale? They probably mark the
Yeah,
price up and then say they're on sale, but they're not.
No,
So
yeah.
you gotta be careful.
that's the oldest trick in the book.
I've got some Amazon gift cards that I've been kind of sitting on since my birthday in
Oh, so you
February.
could
Oh,
do it
good.
without really, yeah.
So I could probably, find something.
I mean, I
Mitch,
already bought. I bought some
Mitch,
salt and I bought some bison tallow from Amazon.
yeah.
That's the last
So
thing I bought.
Mitch should have done a like an Amazon gadgets video for Prime Day to kind of maybe make some money.
Oh, there you go.
He was going to do some kind of video like that. I wasn't sure if he did it already or not.
Because I'm sure his air fryer is probably going on sale, all the other stuff he uses.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Danny, we don't need anything from Amazon. It just happens.
it's just because it's there.
Yeah.
It's like when
The
you go
mail
to a place and it says, buy 5 sodas and then get the fifth one free. Well, or sixth one free. Well, you got to buy the 5 sodas, obviously, to get the sixth one. Isn't that always the way it works?
Sure. Yeah.
I used to have my mom's friend used to be like that. She'd be like, "Oh well, I bought 5." I'm like, "Well, let me ask you a question. Were you wanting to have a soda at all?" And she's like, "No." I go, "Well then, I don't understand why you needed to buy the 5 sodas to get the sixth one if you weren't even going to be drinking the sodas." That makes no sense.
Amy wants me to buy her an extension cord that has a USB charger built into it, or buy her an iPad. Those are two very
She's
different things.
not shy about what she wants, you know.
I'd go with the extension cord. It's gonna be a little
I'd go with the.
cheaper.
I love my iPad. I love it.
Oh, quick question. That batteries charger that you had me using in Boston,
Oh, that will be
Did you
really
get-
cheap.
did you get that on Amazon? How much was it?
I'll tell you tomorrow
Okay.
on Prime Day. I'll send you a better one that I really like. If I leave,
Okay.
I
Just
can't
send me
on
the
the
link or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
not going to get it right now. I have too many things on the plate for my money right now.
You gotta
So,
get it in the next 3 days. It's on sale, or is it?
even with this, I mean, I had to find out first what this damage is going to be, you know. So I just want to
Yeah.
find out where I'm at, you know. And I only worked 4 hours this week, so I'm not getting really a big paycheck this week.
Mm.
So I, you know,
How's
and I have
work coming?
still have like 3 doctor's appointments coming up. So
Amy, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta log off. Please don't come and yell at me, please. What is it called? What is it called?
with all of us, so we're no longer it's no longer just you buying it. Every one of us is buying her something.
I'm telling you.
I don't know.
You know the way it's supposed to work when you're presenting a television show, you're supposed to cut the commercial, and they're supposed to buy stuff to pay for
Right.
us being on the,
Well,
presenting.
the problem
that is the
I'm not
way.
successful enough to have
That's the way it's
commercials.
supposed to work.
This
Yeah.
is costing me money.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're not successful like me, then I guess the commercial thing just does not work, you know. But like I'm not like Aaron. Rick's not monetized, but he should be. I mean, he's been there long enough and he has enough of account to be monetized. So I'm not sure why he's not.
Who does?
Rick. I mean,
Rick?
Rick has a lot of viewers, so he should be monetized technically.
I think he got in trouble. I think he got in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, sounds
That doesn't
like
bother
he
me.
had something. Somebody complained about something he was doing, and that should have been totally innocent, and he got
Okay.
demonetized or something.
Okay.
And I think
makes
that
sense.
was my understanding. That was before he started
Pre
doing
all this,
more
right.
content.
Yeah, because I know he's been on YouTube for years, so yeah, it's probably
Oh,
something
yeah.
happened before. I mean, he's always been carnivore, but before he started advertising carnivore on TV, I'm sure. Yeah.
Before
Okay.
he started realizing that there's actually a community out here.
Yeah.
Bunch
I mean, I'm
bunch
just not
of
big
crazy
enough to
people that only
monetize.
eat meat.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers before you get monetized. So.
And what
So
do you got, Thomas? Where are you at?
I'm at 300. I'm at 384.
Oh, that's a decent start.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just. You know.
I'm not
even
saying
two
you are. I'm
subscribers.
just
Yeah. Okay. I'm just. You know, I'm happy with I'm happy with whatever I have. You know.
well.
You know, you have to
You've
start
got a
somewhere,
very
right?
you got a compelling story. And
Thank
it's
you.
not just me. It's just not just like me
Um,
jumping into
guess
carnivore
who's
just to
not-
experiment. Yeah,
Big
here
guess
she
who's coming
is.
on?
Hey, how you feeling?
Ooh.
Okay.
Do you want the iPad in silver or space black? No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
There we go.
he
I
wants
forgot
one for the weekdays and one for the weekends.
that. Yeah, my iPad is like, I don't know, 10 years old. I can't believe it even turns on.
Oh boy.
Just saying. And I really need an extension cord because mine's old. It's one of those that keeps flopping to the side, so things come unplugged. I live like you were living at Grandma's house. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm pretty frugal, but sort of.
I don't know. My grandma had an old wood stove. That was the that was the only heat in the house. And
Well-
air conditioning in the summer was opening all the windows.
Well, that's you didn't know me. You don't. We've not met, but you didn't know about Bean Dip. Bean Dip would be like the wood stove I drove around with no air conditioning. Yes,
Bean Dip.
yes, it was
You
my
drove
van.
around.
Is
You
the name
drove
is the
Bean
name of a
Dip.
Irving.
vehicle, name of a car, and
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So good old Bean Dip.
Now, did you get another car for now or no? What are you driving now?
I got a what did I get? A Honda Pilot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's a nice one.
it's a
It's pretty
2013.
nice.
Y'all, I had no idea how bougie cars were in 2013. Good grief.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, they were.
yes, I could still camp in this car and live in this car when the time comes for it. So that's good.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah.
so you can do the meetups and stuff like that and just camp in your car. That's cool.
Yes, exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, but so I had a heat stroke Tuesday a week ago when I was getting rid of Bean Dip. I had to take everything out of Bean Dip, and so I just got really hot and had a heat stroke, and so I'm
Oh,
having
God.
to do a couple of days a week of saline IVs to help because of the heart issue, that kind of.
Oh, that's why you were taking the saline IVs the other day. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
where do you have to go? You have to go to the hospital or where do you go to the doctor's office?
My doctor's office. He has an infusion room. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah. I used to,
Okay.
I used to do that 6 days. I mean, 3 days a week for 6 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Louis, she actually left me in charge on Friday too, so she could do her saline thing.
Oh
So
my God.
that's how desperate she was. She left me in charge for like 5 minutes. So that was
Wow.
So if you don't mind my asking, what's the, I mean, besides having heat stroke, what do you normally need the saline for?
well, I have postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome (POTS)
Okay. Yeah.
because I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder, which means that you don't make good collagen. So before I started carnivore, I dislocated 3 or 4 joints a day. Very, very painful. But now I dislocate maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So it's much, much improved. My pain went away. But before I started carnivore, I also was using a wheelchair everywhere I went because my POTS was so bad. I couldn't stand up more than 2 or 3 minutes at a time. I put my wheelchair in storage, let's see, about a month and a half after starting carnivore a year ago in March, and I haven't had it out yet. So, and then I have a whole slew of heart issues that are unrelated to cholesterol or anything. They're congenital. So, other than that,
Your health is pretty good. Yeah.
I've got about
other
65.
than the 10,000 things that's wrong. I'm pretty
Yeah,
good.
I've got about 65 more diagnoses besides that. But other than that, I'm doing great.
My wife is in very similar. She has Addison's. The main driver is she has Addison's
Yeah,
disease, and in the
Oh,
13
God.
years they took to actually diagnose her with Addison's, POTS was one of the one of the possibilities because she'd be laying down. She'd be laying down, and her blood pressure will be in the 180s. Stand up, and it'll drop into the 50s.
yeah,
Yeah.
it can go either way, up or down. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not kidding. It has helped my POTS and my pain more than anything.
Hmm.
So, you should have her watch my video from Carrie on Homestead How, Carrie Mann. I did
Yeah.
I did an interview with Carrie. I also did an interview with Adam Lacey, and I did an interview with Dr. Baker and Dave Mack. All of those will give a good look at how far I've come and
And
what
you did
I.
an
How
interview
long?
with me.
Yeah,
How
Amy,
long
you
have
should
you
make a
been carnivore,
playlist.
Amy?
You should make a playlist and you can share one link
Yeah,
with
you should.
everyone.
Um,
Right. I agree.
I,
And you did an interview with me too. I think that you told your story fully on my
Oh yeah, and
channel.
you have with
But
Thomas too.
oh yeah, and I interviewed with Thomas. Also,
Yeah.
on my
It's
channel,
always great to forget about the guy that you're on the TV with, but that's.
but
I'm
you know
just
what
saying.
though?
Yeah.
Listen, I've also interviewed with Becca. I've interviewed with
Okay.
so, gosh, a couple of other people. But anyway,
A
you can
lot
go
more than you thought.
do what?
It's a lot more than you thought.
Oh yeah, I've had quite a few. Now I have a video on my channel, Amy Haas, a carnivore created in secret. It's just a basic video about kind of pots and the things that I have. So let me stick that. I think I can write in here on the.
On the chat.
I think can I write in the chat?
Should be able to.
So I'm looking at the comments that I have right now about 30 minutes ago, and I got one from an Amy Hosp that
Yeah.
says, "Hey."
Huh. Wonder
So
who.
that was Amy Hosp's comment. Hey,
Hey. Yeah.
hey,
Descriptive, right?
yes. So I had to find out who this Amy Hosp is. And
Thank God there's
hey,
one of them. Whew.
yeah,
That Amy Hosp and that Dr. Barry together.
yeah.
No, y'all say Barry. How do you say it? Dr. Barry. Dr. Barry.
Berry,
I can't even do it. You know what?
like
Dr. Barry eats
you
berries.
berry,
The way it is
berry.
in Texas. Okay, I'll put it in. I'm going to give you my list of, if I can find it.
So Amy Hosp, a carnivore created in secret. That's your YouTube channel.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Amy's story is great. And I do agree. I think I know you said your wife is the anti-carnivore, but
She is
um,
decidedly anti-carnivore.
she,
Yeah.
it's and that makes me sad because I feel like she really could find some healing.
And
And I know
benefit
you know
from
I
it.
that.
agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, she did. One of the reasons we talked about Adrian earlier, and one of the reasons I like Adrian a lot
Hmm.
is that back this was long before I ever met her. My wife had she was 375 pounds. She was her body was shutting down. She was having some really major health issues because of the excess weight, and this was
Oh,
the mid 90s. Nobody was doing bariatric surgery at the time. It was kind of in its infancy at the time, and
Wow.
so she found a doctor in the Houston Medical Center who was he was experimenting with the with gastric surgeries, and he
Hmm.
did a procedure called the Roux-en-Y, which is the same procedure that Adrian did.
Yep.
Um, and so my wife is very convinced that there's just no way because of that surgery that she could ever go carnivore uh, uh, because of the specifics, because of how her body, she can't do fat, for example.
Hey, Bruce, hold it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I had gastric bypass surgery back in 2014.
Oh
I was
yeah.
80 pounds doing carnivore. Technically, 70 on the scale, but I gained 12 pounds of muscle and a pound and
Hmm.
a half of bone. So I've lost 80 pounds
Wow.
with gastric bypass surgery, no gallbladder. So your wife and I need to talk.
Yeah. What form of
RNY.
what did you have done? What is it?
RNY, exactly what your wife
You
had
did a
done.
Roux-en-Y too.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Yes.
Well, I've not had a steak. I've been doing carnivore for about 16 or 17 months.
Okay.
Not eaten a steak yet. I eat
Really?
ribeye.
be right back, guys.
Yeah, I eat brisket. You know how we can get brisket here all over Texas, right?
Yeah.
So I eat
But
brisket.
you're here in Texas.
I live in Fort Worth.
Well, okay. I'm in the Houston area, so
So I eat brisket
a little
about
south of you.
once a month, maybe. And I eat ground beef not that often. I eat already cooked hamburger meat from Sam's Hamburger Patties, and I eat a lot of Hebrew National or Nathan's hot dogs. And
Mm-hmm.
I eat eggs, and I add cream cheese, whipped cream cheese to my eggs. I eat chaffles. I make a waffle, but it's made out of egg and
Mm-hmm.
cheese. I add cheese to most of all the meat that I eat. I add butter on everything. And if she will pair the fat with protein, it will help her take the fat in. But I know, y'all, I'm going to be very honest with you in case you don't know. When you eat fat and anything fried or just flat out a lot of butter, anything with fat in it with gastric bypass surgery, you get what's called dumping syndrome. And you begin to sweat, your heart rate goes
Mm-hmm.
feel like you're going to die, and then you have severe water diarrhea for a long time. It's not.
Amy, how many meals a day do you eat?
I eat. I actually in the morning I drink a Fairlife protein drink, and I found some chocolate flavored bone broth. It's from Zamex, and it tastes just like hot chocolate. So I'll start out drinking that. I drink 2 scoops in the morning. That's 18 grams of protein, zero carbs. And I add my one Fairlife drink into it. It's 30 grams of protein and 4 carbs, I think. And so I drink that for the morning, and then I'm hungry sometime around lunch. I'll usually eat eggs or a hamburger patty. Sometimes I'll put all kinds of different cheese on it. Sometimes I put avocado on it to get my fat in. And people have like, you can't do that. Well, I don't have their body. They don't have my body. But this could
Right.
help your wife. And then in the afternoon, if I'm hungry, I'm usually not, but at night like I went to racetrack today. As a matter of fact, I had IVs today, so I ate 4 eggs early this morning with a lot of butter and my whipped cream cheese. And then I went and bought. They served Nathan hot dogs at racetrack. I bought four.
Mm-hmm.
I had three, so I ate two at one time, and then I had one about 2 hours later, and then I've had this one not eaten yet. And then tonight I'll have my bone broth and another protein drink together. I get about 120 grams of protein a day. Probably
Wow.
probably around I would say anywhere from 50 to 80 grams of fat depending on what I'm eating and the way that I'm eating it. Um, and probably less than 800 calories a day. I would be shocked if I got more than 800 calories a day. So it is possible for your wife to do this. I lost, I think about 70 pounds after gastric bypass, and I kept it off until I moved in with my parents to take care of my dad because I ate so horribly. They actually had actual food in their house, and so I gained 35 pounds, and I was stuck there for 5 years. That was it.
Okay.
I got on carnivore, and I didn't do it for weight loss. I did it for my health. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, Bruce, this was. I promise you, this is God that you are talking to me right now for your wife, and I would love to speak with her and answer any questions. Go have her watch my video.
I
I'm
will try. I
I,
have sent her videos before, and she gets mad at me for sending them.
oh,
So
No, I
it's
understand.
I
it's one of those things. She's got her life. I've been carnivore for about 2.5 years, and as a matter of fact, she was the one who turned me on to Michaela Peterson. And when I first saw Michaela Peterson's uh, videos, I was thinking, nah, this is a joke. There's no way anybody could actually live just on meat. I figured you hear about these elaborate hoaxes that people do to fool the media and into coming up with crazy things. And I thought that's kind of what I thought this was. But as I was watching Dr. Barry, I was watching Michaela Peterson and Bella and all these other people, and then and I'm like, okay, so January 1st, 2023, I said I'm going to give this a try for 30 days, and I loved it, and my wife has been against it ever since. I think she's finally gotten to the point where she's where she's okay. This is just Bruce. It's just how he is.
Okay, Bruce,
But
you know what, though? Do you remember when
yes,
you were a teenager and your parents would
yes,
ask you to go clean the backyard or clean your room or something, and then you
yeah.
went to a friend's house and their mom asked them to do something? Who was the one that steps up and do it? The guest. That would have been you.
This
Because
is true.
it wasn't your parent. So if she's not going to listen to you, that's just how it is. My video is 6 minutes and 30 seconds long or something like that. It's not a commitment, and you can tell her that you met me and I begged you for her to watch my 6 minute video. Here's
Okay,
okay. So I wrote this book, uh, "The Jarring Results of a 90-Day Challenge," and this book is
okay,
beginning on carnivore. And it's questions for goal setting, teaches you how to set goals, and there's questions to answer about helping challenge your mindset and your thoughts, why you do what you do and why you allow yourself to cheat, why you don't think you're good enough to be healthy. And I put journaling pages in. I'm telling you, your wife and I, we need to be friends because I can really help her,
okay.
and it's just a matter of, because I thought the same thing. My doctor, my bariatric doctor, said don't ever go on a diet, don't
Hmm.
uh, ever eat a lot of meat. You're going to have to eat vegetables and then drink protein drinks for the rest of your life.
Hmm.
That's what they tell us, but it's not true. Not
Yeah.
true.
All
Are you
right, guys.
taking the?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna
Yeah.
log off. I gotta get to
Yeah,
sleep.
you
It's
look like you're
it's
falling. You're
it's
ready to
10 o'clock
asleep,
here, and
Lewis.
I'm sleep deprived. Thomas, thank you for having me on your
Thank,
pop up.
thank you, Lewis.
It was
Hey,
good meeting you,
And
Lewis.
Lewis,
yes, you too, Bruce, and my Diet Coke, and
You and your Diet Coke. Yeah.
Lewis,
Amy.
I seriously thought that was a Coke.
hey, Lewis,
Like I said,
what,
I
Yes.
think it looks more like ginger ale than Coke, but that's me.
hey, what day are you going to have my iPad sent? Do you need my address?
I might need your address. I gotta see what's on sale tomorrow. Oh, they're sold out. Oh no.
Yeah, or
Like,
You can send it to me. I'm just a few hours south of her. You know, I can get it to her.
Everyone gets an iPad. All right, guys. I'll
That's
see you
it.
tomorrow.
I
Bye,
Bye,
Lewis.
Tom. Thank
funny.
you.
Hi, thank you for coming on. Thank you.
so
So
I
it's just the three of us.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not promoting my book. I'm just trying to say that it took a lot of work to change my mind and my mindset, and it's possible. It's
Okay.
very possible. Gastric bypass surgery has nothing on carnivore.
Okay. And it's on your channel.
Yeah,
Um.
I
Okay.
put it in the chat.
When you put it in the chat, let me see if I can find it here.
It says my channel or my video, and then I put one for my Adam video and Carrie video.
See, I'm a little bit. I'm not accustomed to using this software.
Um, Well, if you go on, oh, you know what? Click over to your YouTube channel that you watched him before you first signed in.
Yeah.
Do you still have that YouTube open?
No, actually, that was why I was getting the echo because I
Oh,
had that YouTube
Yeah,
channel. I
I
was
had a
hearing. I
feeling.
was
I
hearing
had a
from the
feeling.
YouTube channel.
okay.
That
So
that should be the case.
you actually, if you go
I
over,
don't think you would, Amy. You should do a playlist of all your interviews.
well, I put it, yes, I did put it in the chat for, here's what you can do. Open up your YouTube channel that you watch on and put it on mute or
I
stop
did.
it. Okay, so now you can see it and just click on it and that'll open the tab and you can look at it later. You probably have to click that to mute it.
Yeah, I know. I muted it already.
Okay.
It's weird. I'm looking at myself for a few seconds in the past here.
Yeah, there's a delay.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay. So then I just come back and talk to us in the studio. That's what I do.
You should see how freaky it is for me to talk on with Rick because there's a delay between when you talk on the phone
Yeah.
to the computer. So it's kind of
Oh,
weird.
Rick's hotline there.
Yeah, which I think is a clever idea. I think it's kind of cool, but it's different. Like old-fashioned different.
Okay, so Dawn says over here that you should play the video while your wife's in the same room. Like, pray.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Like, pretend you're doing it for yourself and just like have her be watching it.
Yeah, play it on your phone. Like, oh my gosh, I met this girl from Texas today. And I just wanted to listen to her video, and then turn it up. She doesn't have to look at it; she'll hear it. And that video, I made that video, I guess, back in last year. Actually, I'd only lost 50 pounds at that point.
Did you
And do it
put
repetitively.
it as a link?
I'm sorry?
Did you put it in as a link?
Yeah, I put it in as a link.
I don't know if that's even possible, Amy.
Yeah,
You're not-
I think YouTube, and I think there's a setting that Thomas has to set to
Yeah,
allow
I don't
links.
think.
You
I
can
think
And
I think only I can do that.
we had that problem with the lionesses. They were.
listen. The link is there. You're going to have to highlight the link and copy it, and then go paste it in.
Oh,
your search.
copy and paste it. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes that. Okay, I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing it yet.
I think if I put it on, I think it would actually be clickable.
It's at the bottom. Well, right now it's
Okay.
at the bottom. Did we chase everybody off when I came on? Did everybody leave?
Yes.
Great.
Or no, actually, when I came
Yes,
back,
it was
on,
you, Amy.
Yeah,
Actually,
That's it. It was you. It wasn't me.
I know. I was on here the other day, and we were like, we don't need to listen to that again.
Yeah, nobody needs to hear us wild Texans.
Well, actually, I'm increasing again. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
Says 10 are watching.
Yeah,
Hey,
and when you were before, it was only 6.
Thomas, I have an idea. Can you go to your YouTube channel, highlight it, copy it, and then paste it in chat from yourself? Would it highlight it
Let
then?
me do this.
I can, but I'd be leaving. I'd be like totally leaving. You guys would be hearing the keys and everything like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Just
Now, if I knew about this ahead of time, I could have had it preset.
but this was not. This was an adorned. Oh
I know. I'm just joking with you.
Hey Bruce, why don't you just write my name down on a piece of paper and then look me up? I only have a few videos.
Yeah, I think I just found it. I just found your
thing.
found
Okay.
your channel, and I've got it. I am now your 202nd subscriber.
Wow.
Pretty
Thanks.
cool.
So the video says I found Dr. Ken Berry and this happened.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the video. The whole
There it is. With the the plates, carnivore diet. I found Dr. Ken Berry, and this happened. Okay, I'm going to let's see here. This and
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do if I was walking in the street and came upon Ken Berry.
Look who is here. Lexi. Lexi's here.
Yes.
Lexi.
She was on before. Mister.
But I wasn't. So I didn't know.
Well, the operative word being you missed her. So obviously, if you weren't on,
we weren't on. Amy, you and I weren't on early enough.
I know. I may or may not have been talking to someone important in my life. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, Lexi actually came on the screen and she helped me with my troubles and everything because I got really stressed out. You guys have to watch the replay, but I got really stressed out. I have a flooding problem. I had a flooding problem, and basically, make it short, my landlord said that I pretty much had to pay for the damages, and I'm a little stressed out with money. So I was thinking about having a cupcake because when I get stressed, I eat. And the worse the stress, the more I eat. And Lewis too talked me out of it. So, which is why I'm even doing the live in the first place, to kind of you know.
Well, that's awesome. And you know what? I want to encourage you with this because I've had a hard evening this evening and I was needing some encouragement. And I thought, I just need to be around my people. And so I turned on YouTube and who do I find? My buddy Thomas doing a live. I'm so excited.
That's
There we
cool.
go.
I feel good. I feel good. You know, and I even thought to myself, but I would not know how to implement it. Like, so my thing's just the seed. Somebody else is going to have to implement it. But because I'm thinking to myself, like, when we have a problem like this, we don't always have it where we can go to somebody and, like, I'm lucky, but, like, not the Zoom calls aren't on 24 hours, and to have like some kind of like sort of like some Zoom call helpline that you can go on and talk with somebody, um, to kind of keep them out of going off base would probably be not a bad idea. Like some kind of
Carnivore Anonymous, huh?
yeah.
Actually, Thomas, our goal with BA, Breaking Addictions, is to
Okay.
have just that, to have enough meetings that we have them all times of the day and night. We already have one every single day of the
Oh,
week.
that's
Yeah.
cool. So I sort of had the good thought. It's already been sort of like thought of. That's,
Yeah. But I mean, it's going to take a while to build that up. But gosh, I could actually, I should ask Carrie and Adam. I could just get on Zoom at any point and just leave it on and do whatever I'm doing, which is usually a bunch of nothing.
and the Bee Addictions actually is a pretty good. I know I was on it for a little bit, but I stopped going on it. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. It's just I didn't really feel I needed it as much, and it's just being honest,
But
And
you know,
every time I was on it, the two people that I was on would yell at me because I would start talking, and they're like, "No cross talking," and I wasn't even cross talking. I would just mention a name, but I wasn't talking to them. And
uh,
they would yell at me for cross talking, so it just got annoying. It was just like, okay, I'm just gonna learn.
that's not good. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
there is a certain time that you're supposed to talk and not. Everybody's given.
And I get that. I get that. It just,
Yeah,
it's just kind of weird.
well, I mean, but those are the rules of that type of organization. But after
Right.
that time, then it's free microphone. But
Then
I'll
it's
ask,
free. It's free, really. Yeah.
but really and truly, it would be a good idea. I could just like do Friday night perpetually throughout the. I mean, sometimes I'm up at 4 in the morning, 3 o'clock. Can't go back to sleep. I might as well get on Zoom, see who's up.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just said, Bruce, about being anonymous, so that's true. A lot of
Yeah.
people might want to be anonymous. So
Yes.
I guess there's a way to do it where it's a Zoom call between just the two people, and not really on YouTube or anything like that. So, like,
Oh no,
like
it would have to. Yeah, it would have to be on Zoom
you
to
know.
do that. But yeah, Lexi, if you
I was kind of joking about that, but it's
I mean, okay, whether it's a joke or not, it's still a good point, because there are some people that may not want to be out in the open. So
oh
Yeah.
at least not right.
that's true. When you're struggling, you don't necessarily want everybody else to know you're struggling.
so
Oh,
here's
Good
the
point.
okay.
deal. The
Thank you, Bruce.
I guess the bylaws, so to speak. You are not to mention that, like, you and I should not have been said we know each other or we were in the same BA group according to the bylaws. But I'm comfortable with it and you're comfortable with it, so we're okay. But you know what I mean? Like, and some people in there are diehard 12-step program people, and some are like, I've never heard of this before.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just like everything
So I
else.
just put the invitation in there for Lexi because I think Bruce just sent me a private chat telling me that Lexi's asking to come on. I think that was you, Bruce.
Yeah, I was just
Yep.
going
Could be
to
wrong.
say, Lexi, you need.
She wants an invitation. I'd say do it, but this is Thomas's channel. I don't want to speak out of turn for Thomas.
Oh, I do. No, I'm kidding.
Go ahead,
And I think
Amy.
it's funny, I remember when my first live. I remember you talking to my niece.
Oh yeah,
Oh, Bruce.
yeah. No, me when
Well, you went back and
she was
forth
chatting
to
your
a Kelly
niece.
Rose, to a Kelly Rose,
Yeah.
and that ended up being my niece.
Yep.
'Cause
And
I'm
then
like,
she
seeing
came
Kelly
on
Rose.
live with you.
Yeah. So that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. She was just asking questions, and you missed the question, and
Yeah,
then
no, I
you
mean,
saw me responding to her. It's like, wait, you got somebody? The Kelly Rose is in here?
yeah, I was
Hi.
like looking at it, holy shit.
Lexi.
Lexi,
I'm
Okay,
back.
that's who you are, Lexi. Okay,
I'm still Tom, so
Yeah.
Just so you know,
that's
my
one of the oldest
computer
jokes in the world.
my computer's really crappy, so there might be a delay between when I respond to you guys. Just so you know.
Well, just so she doesn't feel bad, everybody else delayed while they're talking too.
Okay.
Or this. And you know what else? The
But
Godzilla movies. All of the Godzilla movies were that way. Every one of them.
right.
Theater. Even at the theater.
you go now.
Exactly. That's good.
I will beat you up.
So Thomas, earlier, did you see my comment about the back of your toilet and how to turn the water off in the toilet? There
And I
should
was
be a
looking back there, and I still haven't. I think I have to crawl on the floor in order to find it. And
yeah.
unfortunately, with my back, I think it's like in a really hard to look place. And
Usually it's like right under the tank, just on the left side, as facing the toilet on the left side of the toilet. It's right there.
yeah,
It's about right under.
I'm
You
going to
just
look
gotta
later
feel
on.
for it.
And you know what? When I talk on Thursday with Aaron, I'll announce it on Thursday. Um, oh, by the way, Bruce was right. I found the toilet thing. Because it
Wow.
doesn't.
Somebody would actually
I
say I'm right, you know?
I would. I'll actually admit when somebody else is right. I will actually admit it. You know, I'm not proud. Um,
Quite frankly, the toilet water turnoff thing is not a thing you grow up knowing. You only know that after you need to know that. That is one
right.
of those things that you just
Oh
happen
yeah.
to, right?
No, I
I mean,
remember. I remember before the toe situation. I remember seeing it, and that's what made me crazy. I'm like, where the hell is it? I know I saw it. I know it's there, and it just doesn't make any sense that they wouldn't have a separate set-off valve for the toilet. You know, like
Now
it
when
just
you
doesn't.
find
That
it,
just doesn't.
you'll never unsee it.
I yes. I mean, it's technically still in my head. I just, for some reason, it's been moved, and you know, that's probably what it is. Somebody probably moved it on me.
What happened? Did you bust the tank or?
I was trying to fix the flusher, you know, because it was
The
loose.
plunger?
You know, the thing, the toilet,
Yeah.
and it was really loose. But it wasn't tightening in. It's one of those plastic ones, and it was.
Oh,
I was
okay.
trying to tighten it in. I used a screwdriver to kind of because I was trying to pry it open so I could redo it, and I slipped, and the blue. It's you know, the pump that's on top.
Yeah.
The cap popped off. The cap popped off, and all the water guys dried up. It just
Okay.
shot right up this floor, and it caused like Old Faithful to happen in my bathroom. And Amy's laughing, and I had about this. I had about this much water in my floor, and unfortunately, that wasn't even the worst of it. What problem was it went down to the ceiling downstairs at the laundromat, and the owner of the laundromat is claiming that I did electrical damage and everything. Now I admit the tile damage, but he's claiming the electrical damage and everything, and it's going to be thousands of dollars to fix it.
okay, do you have
So
insurance? By the way, do you have renter's insurance?
I do have renter's insurance. Yes, I do have renter's insurance.
You need to call that insurance company and explain what happened and see if they can
Right.
send somebody out to do an inspection about the electrical. Because
Right.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
this much water on your floor did not cause all that electrical issue.
Right. And I have a feeling, and if the guy's watching, I apologize, but I doubt it. I have a feeling that he's exaggerating a little bit to the landlord, because when I went downstairs, I took pictures of the ceiling, and there's ceiling damage, but how the heck can you tell if there's electrical damage if you don't actually go into
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm.
areas where there's electrical?
He's looking.
And the lights are still working, the fan's still working. So if there's electrical damage that's non-seeable, wouldn't there be like everything be turned off? Like wouldn't it like cause a short, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you need a water restoration expert to take a look at it,
Yeah.
one way or the
So
other.
I mean, my landlord and her husband, he's like the super. He's coming to help me with my toilet to fix it so I can get water back again. I
Okay.
think I fixed it already because I put the cap back on and now the cap won't come off. So I think I got it fixed, but I just don't want to take any chances. So for right now, I'm leaving the water off until
Yeah.
they come and they look at it.
Yes.
You
Now,
know, and then I'll turn the water back on if they say.
Thomas, I wasn't
And I still
laughing.
won't have a toilet, but I'll still have water. You know.
So I
'Cause
wasn't laughing at you.
the flusher's pretty much like on the bathroom sink now. So
Okay, Thomas, I
I'm saying,
wasn't. Thomas, can you hear me?
what?
Can you hear
Amy?
me?
Can you
Yeah,
what? Can you Amy? Can you hear me?
I was just going to tell you, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at the picture of that because I'm 100% sure that's what would have happened to me. Just,
Oh yeah, and I knew you were laughing at me. I got that. But it is, I mean, now that I'm here, it is. I mean, okay, this is going to make you laugh, Amy. I felt like I Love Lucy.
yes.
I
You
think,
need a
I think I'm
bear
too.
belt.
I think I'm too young to know that reference.
I'm trying to stop the water,
Just,
right?
Probably
I'm
so,
going
Lexi.
down, putting my hand up above, trying to. And I can't go down on the floor, so I'm like trying to get as low as possible. Like, where the hell is that valve?
because you're
So
trying
then
to
I call my
down.
then I'm calling my roommate, calling my neighbor, and the phone wasn't working because my fingers were wet. So I'm trying to dry my hands, do the finger, okay, and then I finally get a hold of him. He's not even there, but he's like, "Yeah, you got to turn off the main valve." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, you got to go into the furnace room." So it's all the way on the other side of the apartment, like all the way on the other side. And I had to turn that off. Well, I mean, it's still behind the bathroom, but I still had to walk out
Yeah.
the bathroom into the living room, and over. And so I had to find where that was, turn that off. Meanwhile, I'm not watching the water in the bathroom because how can I? I can't be in two places at once. And so I finally turned the water off, but all that damage was still there. So it was like all that water. And I had to give out like 6 towels and try to wring them out as much as possible, but I had to use the towels because I ran out of mop pads. I couldn't even use a mop to use the wring. So it's just everything like just happening and just really bad luck.
Oh my
I'm
God.
so glad. I'm so glad you're
Which
able to
tells
laugh
me-
about this now.
Okay.
Which tells me that, and Lexi gave her analysis, and I think I like mine and hers, but I think life is like yin and yang. I think when something really good happens,
Something bad.
the
Like,
opposite also happens too. So I think
but
one
not
is
all
bad,
the time.
and I think I'm getting really damn good A1C, and I think that's my good.
Yeah, but not
I
all
think
the
my
time.
A1C is going to.
Let me tell you
No,
this.
but I just think something tells me my A1C is going to be freaking fantastic. So
Well,
There
yeah.
you
a lot
go.
better than it was.
Okay, so Lexi, there's not necessarily a certain episode with Lucy on that. It's just something that would have happened on that show.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2, make sure that you call your room.
Actually, no, but yeah, I'm thinking of the candy episode.
Yeah, well, I was actually thinking of Here's Lucy, I think. Do you remember that? After I Love Like Yours. Anyway, when they get in the
Right,
shower,
when she was older and her kids were on it. Right.
it,
Everybody's frozen.
I'm not.
It's got to be me.
You're not even frozen. Nobody's frozen for me. Okay, ready? Freeze tag. Ready?
I
Go.
got some frozen burgers in the fridge.
Okay, so Thomas, one other thing, let me tell you. When stuff like that happens to me, the way that I have managed my stress, not all the time, because there are times I've had, that's it, I can't take another thing. But especially if I drop something or I spill something on the floor, I go, that is exactly what I was hoping would happen today. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, look how far it rolled. And it really helps my attitude.
Somebody kick Bruce off.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
what it reminded me of the whole thing happening, like just being out of control, was the I Lucy episode of her working in the candy factory.
Yes.
Oh, I know that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing though, right?
Hey Bruce, I have no idea what happened.
I don't know. All of a sudden, all of you guys froze up. And I'm like,
Oh, so
well,
you-
wait,
oh, you
they're all
referenced-
frozen up. And they're like, wait a minute. No, it's me frozen up.
And you weren't even frozen to us. We could still see you moving.
Yeah, you were actually moving.
That's so weird.
I was?
talking.
Okay.
That's so weird. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
But then we pretended to be frozen, so maybe that's what confused you.
Yeah, we fully
That's it. Y'all with me.
We should do that sometime, like, just next time, like when somebody else is on, but don't tell them they were going to do it, and all four of us just freeze,
You know what? Let's remember Friday night. Come to the Zoom meeting, and
Oh, that would be wonderful. Yes, we should do that.
The
You
Zoom
know,
meeting.
yeah.
I'd probably start laughing and ruin the whole thing.
you know what? Actually, one night we
You
decided.
can do it. Practice lessons.
One night we all decided we were going to have the same background, the San Francisco Bridge, and they were like, "What's going on?" People would come on. They were like, "Why are y'all?"
Everybody came out. Anybody didn't see it the week before? Yeah, they'd be like, "Why does everybody have the San Francisco Bridge up on the screen?"
Because we were having a meetup right there at the San Francisco Bridge.
Yeah, who was it that finally noticed it? Was it Patricia?
Maybe, I don't remember. I think Patricia was probably in on it, but it was funny though.
Yeah, I don't know.
It
It was
pretty-
one of them. Either Patricia or wasn't there a Jane like a few weeks ago that I haven't seen in a while?
No, I honestly,
Somebody Jane
that's horrible.
that was very shy. Yeah, somebody that was like very meek and shy.
There was
Very nice
somebody
lady.
on that was new last week, and they were new in another one, and they said, "I never ever speak," and they talked the whole time.
I was
Yeah, I
there,
know.
yeah.
I'm not saying anything about her.
That was a
Let's put it that
Thursday. No, not that one. I know what you're thinking about.
Oh.
Not her. That was somebody that was on Thursday night, and then they came to us on Friday. She was only there a short time, but she talked the whole time she was there. It was funny. Anyway,
Yeah, no, the other lady that I'm talking about, she yelled at Caroline. And I'm like, I like privately chat with Caroline. I said, Caroline, don't worry about it. Some people just can't, And she's like, I know.
I tried to
I mean,
I
this
tried to
woman-
smooth it over. I felt bad. I felt really bad because as the host, I'm like, now what do I do? Okay. So I tried to address both sides. I don't know if you noticed. I tried to address both sides. It's okay. Sometimes people this and some, whatever.
It's hard. But sometimes you gotta do it in private chat, and sometimes you just do it like you can just do it publicly. But yeah, you gotta know your.
I used to teach school, and I worked with 6th graders and 7th graders. And by the way, 7th graders are the meanest people on earth. They're the most
Yes, they are.
people on earth, especially in the spring, because they're like not quite babies anymore, and they're not quite to that 8th grade top of the school status, and they're awful. 7th graders are just awful people.
Yes, we were.
I know I was. I'm sure. I'm just saying, it's just that phase. It's just the stage. But
No,
so
no. I mean, I was an angel, so I can't say that.
I can deal with an adult if I can deal with a 7th grader.
Mhm.
Made me tough. Oh my gosh, Bruce! I so hope. I'm going to pray that your wife watches my video.
I will make an effort to try to get her to watch it.
I believe you will. I believe you will. It's going to be a whole new evolution.
Okay.
I married Strong Will for a reason. I married a very, very strong-willed, very stubborn woman for a reason. I like her that way, but there's some there are some challenges to it.
Okay, so you could do this because I talk about my hormones briefly. I talk about depression. I talk
Mm-hmm.
about my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and POTS. Uh, I don't know what else I talk about, but you could take it upon. You know what? This person has gotten so. I don't know if I believe this. Will you listen to this and tell me what you think? That way, you're not telling her you need to do this. You're trying to get her to prove that can't possibly happen, but she'll hear my testimony.
Okay. I mean, I've sent her videos before from carnivore. I even sent her. She likes cooking, and I've sent her videos from Chris Cooking Nashville, and
Oh.
because these are things that I think she would enjoy learning to cook. But she even gets upset at me for doing that too. So
Yeah, but you didn't
So
ask her to try to prove it wrong. This way, if you ask her, can you believe? Can you imagine all this would be true? What do you think? Do you think this woman is
hmm
lying? Do you
yeah,
see that?
yeah.
so
I'll
interruption.
give it a try. I'll give it a try.
So Bruce has said something that triggered the interruption. Okay. So I'm not sure when it's going to either be August or September or maybe October. I'm not sure when. But Chris is going. I'm going to be interviewing Chris. Cooking Nashville.
Nice, Thomas.
Oh, okay.
That is amazing. You and
That
that
is good.
amazing me, both of y'all. Oh my gosh, I've had a channel for a long time. I have probably really 5 or 6 YouTube channels, to be honest. And they all look exactly the same. Just a few videos, and then I, start something else. I'm so proud of you guys.
Well, I don't have any, but
Bruce,
I guess
it. Come on, chop chop.
nah. I have tried. I did a. I tried to. I had myself set up to record doing making tallow one time, and I had everything perfect. Every shot came in the way I wanted it to, and I went to go back and watch it, and I realized I'd forgotten to plug the microphone in. So all of that video, I didn't. All the audio that I had, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to take the time to go in and dub it in. Pretend like I'm. Everybody. It almost looked like everybody froze again. I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh no, move your head, Lexi. So
There you go. Yeah. Well, the only
That's
thing I
especially
can
with the
tell is I
hair.
can
Cameras
still
like
see
Tom Collins.
Thomas's fan yelling. So
yeah, yeah, nothing's moving in my house, even me.
yeah, Thomas, you're going 3 hours now.
I know. Well, I'm trying to break my record, so
What's
What
your
is-
record?
Four, like 4.5, 5.
Okay.
That'll be
Right, I'm not saying, but
It looks like we're beating Lexi out.
I'm about to go to bed, guys.
now,
but
if I was trying to beat Rick's record, that would be pretty amazing. But,
Rick's,
8 hours?
you know,
Wait, that was
Or
9
you-
hours.
actually, no, 9.5.
I was there.
He was on for 9.5 hours, and I wasn't there the whole time because I'm not crazy. And I mean, but the fact he does it by himself, that's
You
what
still
amazes
can't
me.
beat
I would not
Carrie's
be able to
record.
be on for 3 hours if I didn't have you guys. You need people to talk to.
I think it helps that he goes through like every single comment someone posts and like responds to them, so he always has something to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that it would be easy. I just talk to the different people in my head, so that would be easy.
Me too. Literally.
I haven't been watching the
See,
comments. I probably should be.
Neither have I. We're down to 4 people, so and since there's only 4 of us here, I'm guessing we're the only 4.
It's just
But
us. Huh?
People can still watch the replay. So I'm
There you
getting a text. I'm getting a text right now to go a little humor from a guy named Devin. Now Devin is the guy I work with at my store. Now I'm not scheduled to work until the 14th. I stopped working like 2 days ago, and my next day working is the 14th of July. So he texts me, "So sorry, shit came up at home. Is everything okay over there?" Well, I don't know because I'm over here. I'm not over there, you know. So I said, "I don't know. I am not working until the 14th." Then he texted me again, "If you're up, I'm eating right now, and I can come in a little bit." So why is my coworker texting me to come in about me being in work when I'm not actually working?
I don't know.
Is he maybe thinking he's
I find that weird.
texting the wrong person?
Maybe
Either that or he's
you. Does he have a
sniffing
crush
a little
on
too much.
you? Does he have a crush on you, Thomas? Maybe he misses you. Hey,
Maybe.
Lexi, I just put my phone number in the chat on
Oh, Devin! Oh, never mind. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm thinking it's a different Devin.
screenshot that or write it down. We need to talk, honey bunny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring that one up.
If you don't want to look at it, I can just tell you and you can write it down.
Just what's your number?
It's 214
You sure? You sure you
What is
want
it?
that?
47.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I
So
said I'd
it's,
tell you right here.
so it's 214. What else?
476
476.
1167.
And it's Amy.
Amy
I
Haas.
just realized it's not. It's a different Devin. I got confused. Like, why is this kid texting me? No, it's my neighbor, the one that I called to help me that wasn't around. So he said he'd actually come by and check the
See if he can help
like
you.
okay
Got
with
it,
the
Amy.
damage.
Thanks. Yeah, give me a halt. Text me tomorrow or something and tell me it's you so I'll know it's you.
All right, I'm going to bed, guys.
All right.
Good
Okay,
night,
I probably-
Lexi.
I guess
I'm probably not too far behind you.
No.
Yeah, and
Well, it's
Bruce,
probably past your time, right? Bruce or no?
It is way past. I usually go to bed at 8.
wow, you're up really late.
I am up late. Yeah, well, only one night a week. I stay up later, and that's to watch Russ's shows. So
I have to get up early in the morning, go grocery shopping because it's going to be hot. So I
Yep.
could go do this before it gets too warm that I can't go. So
Thomas, sounds like your entire panel is abandoning you here.
Yeah, that happens all the time. So,
I didn't notice maybe
Yeah,
right
I'll
this
comment.
minute.
So Bruce, you know who else? I'm also interviewing Carrie Mann.
Yeah, you mentioned that. When was that?
That's going to be on the 22nd.
The 20. You did say that 22nd.
You know
So
why
I-
I'm doing that, Bruce?
That,
You want to
that
know
was
why?
at, that was at 1:00 my time, 2:00 yours, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Bruce, do you know why he's doing that?
Because
No.
Amy suggested I email him and ask him.
Because his
Yes.
good friend Amy said, you know what? You should definitely interview Carrie. Just ask him. I bet he'll do it.
Yeah.
So
And I
should
did.
Yeah.
I should
I
get a
did.
little bit of a finder's fee or something. I don't know.
There you go.
And if there's any kind of fee that I get from it, you can get all of it.
Okay.
Yeah. She just wants that iPad.
Well, y'all.
Well, no, I mean, you can have 100% of my finder's fee. You really can.
There you go. So I'm surprised you and Carrie haven't talked yet because you've got
Me
a
and
pretty
Carrie?
yeah you
Me
and
and
Carrie.
Carrie.
Oh, you have, okay. You just haven't had an
Yeah,
interview yet.
Well, I've been interviewed by Carrie, and I also met Carrie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, yeah, I've talked to him several times actually.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
you've
probably
got,
why it was so easy to ask Carrie to be on my channel because it wasn't like
you've been
he
on
didn't know.
his. Yeah.
Right. I mean, well, I was on his channel. I had a private, a regular interview, and then I was on like 3 times on that thing that he was doing, where people go on and tell just tell 5 minutes of their story.
Yeah.
Open mic night. Have you ever seen that or not?
Saturday night.
I have.
Yeah.
I don't really watch. I only have a limited number of amount of time that I can actually watch YouTube videos, and usually, usually it's only Tuesday nights. I saw you on tonight, and I figured I better pop on and say hi.
Yeah. I'm grateful. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of
Hey,
course.
I get a
so
lot of people that come on.
Yeah.
awesome. Bruce, are you
You
on
were
the
saying-
Humanity site?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm not on any of the. I was on Dr. Barry's site for a while, or Dr. Barry's community for a while, but then you get to the point where you ask a question, and you don't really get a very satisfactory answer, and it just after a while just wasn't too terribly enamored by it. So I left that group, and then right now it's just not really much. Yeah, I pop on when I can. I don't.
Well, that's
You know.
good. You're finding places for support. That's good.
Mhm.
Like Dr. Barry's group, and I don't really go on his site very much, but I always go and ask him as many questions as I can because I have such weird, rare medical issues, and he's the
Mhm.
only person I know that is straightforward and honest with me and will answer my question. Plus,
Right, he does.
yeah, he enjoys it because I'm a challenge, and because everybody else is asking the same question over and over and over, and I'm the one
Mhm.
that comes with the weird, rare one. And he always says, "Thomas, have you been on there when I've asked questions?" Dr. Barry always,
I've been on there, but I don't remember all the questions that you would ask. I mean,
but no, I mean, but
my
have you?
memory's not that great.
So he always says this. All right, y'all. Amy is really, really weird, and she's got nobody else has. And if you don't know Amy, she's been really, really sick. And so don't listen to what I'm about to tell her because it doesn't apply to any of the rest of you. Every time.
Mhm.
And he also says,
She's unique, in other words.
oh,
She's
it's
a unicorn.
our favorite children's author. It's Amy Haas. Okay, Dr. Barry.
Yeah.
Every time. So I think I'm like a little sister that's stuck up underneath his fingernail, like,
Yeah.
oh, here she is again. Oh, great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
a community is good to be part of, but like I'm part of. Well, it depends on how you look at it, but I'm part of three memberships. So
Healing Humanity is the best.
it is.
Yes.
But me, Bella's free.
Oh,
So yeah, she doesn't charge. I guess my story was so compelling to her that they gave me a free membership.
They gave
So-
you a free. Okay. Yeah.
So I can't drop that. And Kilt is already free.
Kilt is free. I have Healing Humanity free because I got in on the beta testing. I mean, I was one of the
Right. So did
Probably-
Lewis.
100 or something. Yeah, and I didn't even get on for months. I was like, I can't remember how to get on there. And now, now I'm doing
Now
it.
you're on all the time. You even have your own show.
I even have my own. I wouldn't call it a show. It's a comedy, my own comedy.
You're the one hosting it. It's a
I'm
show.
hosting it. I'm my own hosting Zoom meeting. They were like, "What idiot?"
I mean, I can't say how good the show is because you have a weird guy as your co-host, but
True.
that's.
But I know that Adam and Carrie were like, "What idiot could we get to do this Friday night Zoom?" Oh, let's ask Amy.
The Great Steak Escape. What's
The Great
name of it?
Escape. The Great Steak Escape is the name of the group. But
The
you have
Great Steak Escape.
yes.
Okay.
The reason it's the Great Steak Escape because in Arizona Carrie and myself and Lynn and Lynn's husband and Adam, we were all hanging out before and after, and the meetup. And we went to an
Mhm.
escape room, and it was so much fun. But at the end, they had these little signs that you hold up, like I'm Einstein or whatever. My sign said, "We won because of you," and so I made a big deal out of that just to tease them. And so we decided on the Zoom meeting, we decided we would call it the Great Steak Escape in honor of. I wanted to call it the escape room, but Lynn wanted to call it the Great Steak Escape. So
Well,
Okay.
I like Great Steak Escape because it sort of sounds carnivore.
yeah, it's cute. It's very cute. Yeah, but that's how I
The
got it.
escape room doesn't really sound carnivore.
Do
The
it.
Great Steak Escape. The Great
Yeah.
Steak Escape sounds like sleuth.
I don't know. Almost. That sounds like it could be vegan though. Escaping steak. You should be
That's
the
true.
potato escape.
Or the steak actually got up and started running away from you. And,
Yeah.
Well,
this
we wanted it to be an
our
escape.
food is alive, even though we killed it.
And escape to the steak. Huh?
Well,
Yes.
we wanted it to be an escape from your week, to get out of the rat race, just whatever, just come hang out. And we talk about how much butter we eat every week, or
No, it's a
trivia,
good show. It really is.
just whatever. We don't really have an agenda. We just talk, whatever comes up. So
Okay.
yeah. Sometimes I make everybody watch a video and then take a test on it. So
So
I
how
don't.
do I find this? Is this
You have to be on Healing Humanity in order to.
got to be on
partner
Healing
members.
Humanity? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the
But in
membership.
case you decide to join, it's on
Mhm.
Friday nights for us from 7 to 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
7 and 9 Central.
Yeah, for us. When I
Yes,
said
for-
us,
For
that
us, you're talking about you and me, not Thomas.
yes,
Got it.
Right.
yes.
I'm 8 to 10. Right.
8 to 10. Yeah.
Bruce, how long have you lived in Texas?
Let's see. Let's see. 50. How old am I? I was born in Texas.
Okay, so it's us against them. So when I say us, I mean the Texans. When I say
Right.
them, I mean all the non-Texans.
Right.
That was our secret code for us, for the Texans.
Okay. Us and
That was so subtle, Amy. I didn't get it.
Isn't it? Hey, you and Lewis
That
have
was
you and Lewis can
that was
have
the most subtle thing I've ever seen you do.
it's you know what? There's not a lot of room for lies when it's being subtle. You got to be subtle and truthful and just facts. You know what I mean? And that's just a fact. It's us against them. I mean, do you not know
Yeah.
our motto? Our motto: Get out.
Well-
You're not a Texan. No, that's not our motto.
Right.
See, you could have kept it that way. I would never have known. I would have been like,
Well, we
Or what is it? Welcome, Yankee. You want to go home?
we are the Lone Star State, meaning we don't need anybody else. We stand
That's
alone.
right.
So
That's
it is.
right.
that I actually knew. I knew you were Lone Star State. I knew that.
Yeah. And
Well, we're the
and
guard.
Fort Worth
Well,
is about
Which is probably
as,
why I don't have too many carnivores in New Jersey, because we're the Garden State. So,
good point. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Fort
Fort Worth is about as it's about as Texas as it comes.
yeah.
I mean, Dallas is okay, Dallas. And there's Houston, San Antonio's Mexico, Austin is California. Let's see.
Houston is like Dallas, just a lot more humid.
Okay, that'll work. Yeah.
No, it's hit or miss on the cowboy thing. I live like I don't know 5 minutes or so from the stockyards, and I love it. I live
Oh, okay.
about 3 miles from the naval base over here, so we have the fighter jets all the time. And what's really
Yeah.
cool is when you run over to the stockyards and you see the Navy pilots, the pilots of the bombers or whatever, eating at the stockyards, having
Mhm.
they're in their jumper. It's really cool. I like where I
Yeah.
live. I like where I live. Yeah, I grew up in Frisco. Do you know where Frisco is?
Yes. Yeah, I know where
aren't
Frisco
they
is.
frisky over there?
Do what?
Aren't they frisky over there?
As a matter of fact, Smarty Pants, we were the Frisco Coons, and the coon's name was Frisky. Okay, so yes, there are Friskies
Yeah.
there.
Frisky Coons in Frisco. Okay,
I
got
like how you call me Smarty Pants. You know,
it.
that's probably the smartest thing in me. You know, I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, we were the only school named the Coons, and when we were kids, we didn't know any of this racist stuff, and so that we played like the Farmersville Farmers. What a creative name! But the Farmerville Farmers, and they would have these little football ribbons. Bruce, do you remember when they used to have football ribbons at the
Oh
games?
yeah. Oh yeah.
So
They
these would
still do, but
they still
yeah,
do. But so
yeah.
all of the ones against Frisco, they would say "Tree a Coon." That's what they would put on their ribbons. Today, that's not good. And
That's yeah.
so I graduated in 1985. In 82,
Really?
83, 84, and 85, our track team, 4 black girls, won the state track meet every year. And on the front page of the Dallas Morning News, uh, the whole front page was 4 black girls, and it said, "Coons take state." And now, some little girl moved in, and her parents were offended by this and sued the school, and the school caved, and now they're the fighting raccoons. It's just not the same as the coons. And the thing is,
No.
the reason how we got the name Coons is because our rail station, the guy that was the depot dude back in the early 1900s, the
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco, not San Francisco, the Chicago, what's the Chicago train line called? Uh,
You're not talking about
there's the San Francisco, and then there's the. Does it start with
Northern
a?
Pacific.
I don't think it's Northern Pacific. I think there's one that starts with C, right? Anyway, whatever it was,
Okay.
the president of the company was on the train. They drove through Frisco, and our depot guy was uh, drawing a coonskin on the side of the depot. And the president bought it, and it became the emblem of the railroad. And so it looks like a square. It looks like a square with the edges flared out.
Union Pacific? No. No, no.
Maybe. Anyway, whichever one it was.
I think I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, so that's a coonskin print, and so, but that's
Really?
got the name for our mascot because of that. But everybody
Okay.
thought that we were making. You know what? In those 4 black kids, we never thought a thing about it. We didn't know that that was racist because we didn't know what it.
Yeah.
And Thomas and Paige is not as interested as Bruce and I are in this because I know you're not. But I don't know if you know this, not growing up in the South, but the reason why
I'm honest. Yeah.
the reason they would say tree a coon is because they used to, during the days of slavery, a slave would run away and they would use coon hunting dogs to chase, or hound dogs to chase the slaves, and the slaves would jump up in a tree and they would hide because they were so dark in the middle of the night. There were no lights, right? And so they treed a coon. It became synonymous with a slave up in a tree.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's horribly racist. But we didn't know. We didn't the world
Yeah.
wasn't like that back then. So anyway,
I think
I just wanted to say I was 13 in '85, so
yeah, you were still.
I don't know how important that is, but you know it's fair.
You were a
No,
baby.
I was just thinking, Amy, you and I graduated high school the same year because I graduated high school in '85 as well.
I need to ask you a very important question. How many
Okay.
times do you eat? How many times do you actually meet somebody that graduated in 1985? On average,
Almost never.
where are we? Me either.
I don't know.
I never meet them. They dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah. I don't know.
I can't imagine where they
They
are.
probably did. They probably, you know. I mean, the world is flat, isn't it?
You know what? I know that half of us ran away from all the 13-year-olds. That was going on because you would have been.
Yeah. That been jailbait. Yeah.
You wouldn't have. You would have been about 7th grade. One of those horrible people in
Yeah.
1985.
Yeah, and it was in 13 like the horrible age.
Yeah.
To be.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, 14 you're in 8th grade, and that's totally true.
Bruce, but
I
I'm
mean,
not.
I was kind of shy as a kid, so I don't know how horrible I was, but there was a lot of kids that were horrible. I have to admit
You
that.
shy, Thomas? I don't see that.
Yes.
No.
There was a time when I would not even, I would hardly talk. Yeah,
No.
I was very.
Well,
But then I
I'm
got
glad
into
to see
retail
you've come
sales
out of your
now.
shell.
Yes.
I don't know if I have ever had a super shy stage, but my dad was really outgoing, and so I
Right.
think I modeled
Yeah.
myself after
Yeah,
him.
believe it or not, the jokes and stuff didn't come out until I was like into retail. For some reason, I just said one joke, and that just people laughed, and I was like, "Oh, okay, now I'm comfortable." So I can talk to them.
Maybe you should go on stage.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. This is my stage.
That's right. Okay, on that, I am going to go ahead and go to bed.
Yep.
3.5, just about 3.5. You wanna cut it out? You wanna go all the way to 3.5 hours, Thomas?
Actually, I was going to go to 333
You know what? I'll hit.
because
Three.
that's the number for Trinity, the Trinity number,
Well,
and
yeah, this is
333
true. Okay, if you want to do 3, I'll stay till 333 if you want.
Okay, do you know
and
what?
333 is the Holy Trinity with the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
There
Okay,
you go.
I
Okay.
say 333 is, and Bruce will
What?
laugh at this. That's only half evil.
Okay, yeah, that's true. No, it's 3 is the
No, we
perfect
don't have
number.
we don't have to
6
go
is
333.
an imperfect number.
I mean, you know what though? No, we'll end it now because if I go
okay, now you're kicking us
well,
out.
the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm going to be ending the live now because I used to do that with 444 for when I did the brownies and the coffee at the coffee store, and I realized one day I'm like, wait, if I already know it's going to happen, then it's not coming unexpectedly. So it's not really this big thing, I'm sort of forcing the number onto me. So if I wait until 333, I'm sort of forcing the number onto me.
Or
So
waiting so that you can honor that number. You could look at it that way too.
okay, well then we'll stay to the honoring number. And Don just joined it. John said he's
No,
still
he
here.
says he's still here. He's driving.
Hey, Don!
So he's still listening to us. So we do. It is more than just the 3 of us now.
Yeah.
Don's in with us.
Which is weird how it doesn't show up on the you would think that because it's not the same, so it's kind of weird.
You can't see how many are here. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it's saying I only have 3 people on, so I just figured it was. Well, actually, no. You know what? They might not count me.
I was wondering if they counted you.
Oh, that's a good point. That's why when you thought we had 4, it was really 5 of us because Dawn was still here driving the whole time.
Yeah, Don, eyes on the road. Don't be chatting.
And she went
Yeah,
to
I actually met Don in Boston. Nice guy, very nice guy.
Hey, and
Oh,
Dawn,
yeah?
I don't think I've met you, but she went to sleep 23 minutes ago, so you missed your chance.
Well, he is driving, so
I was
You
just
didn't
about to tell her good night too, and I went, oh yeah, she's not even here. So
Yeah.
And I met Danny in Boston. Matter of fact, I sat next to her during the Q&As. And the whole time she's like teasing Kilt. She's like, and I was laughing at her, laughing at it. So I mean, I was no better, but she's like, Kilt is going to get up and say something against this.
He's using speech to text. Problem when I'm using speech to text, when I try to do that, I usually I'll hit the microphone button, and if I'm watching a YouTube video, it'll start picking up everything everybody says on the YouTube video.
My problem is I slur sometimes in my speeches.
Yeah.
And so it picks that up. And so it doesn't pick up what I'm actually saying. It picks up what it thinks I'm saying. So, And when you're doing it from your car, it's a little hard to correct that problem.
Yeah, it is.
So.
Especially when you're trying to be safe.
Yeah. Like I used to be one of those kids that couldn't say my PHs. Like I'd be like, or THs. I'd be like, "Oh, retired Rick. Hey, Rick."
See, now you got to stay on.
Yeah.
I know.
Now you got retired Rick.
You might have to stay on till 3:33 in the morning.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I'd have to stop.
I won't be here
my
till 3:33 in the
is gonna
morning.
come and look at the pipes, but you guys are more than welcome to stay on. Hint, like har, you know. No, I'll probably end as soon as he texts me. I'll probably definitely end. You know, because I
have my own YouTube channel. I can go live myself if I want to, and Instagram and Zoom.
Did you see me scare Lewis before? When somebody was like, "You're still alive." I think it was Lexi. They said like, "You're still alive," and I said, "Yeah, I'm still alive." And he's like, "Alive? What do you mean alive?"
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm just playing with words, you know.
Hey, Bruce, I have to tell you, I am so excited to meet somebody that graduated with me because I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Small world. Small world.
And I'm not kidding, Thomas. I don't meet them anywhere. I'm like, where are they? Where are they?
Oh.
Before or after? 1 year before, 1 year after, but 85 never.
Yeah, I
Speaking
know.
of in common, did you see what I announced in the beginning of this whole thing? I was telling Lewis that I'm on the coaching program with Dr. Kiltz, being taught by Dr. Nelson, and you know, I had to pay a little bit into it, but you know, I figure it'll get me better, so then I can better help people, you know, because that's why that's why I'm doing these interviews, so I can help people tell their story and stuff. And I got inspired and now I found out my new computer has Word in it. The other computer, I had to pay a monthly fee in order to have Word, so I never had it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm now going back to writing my book.
Good.
So,
Yay.
So once I'm done with the coaching course and everything like that, I'm going to go back to the old pages and look at them and then try to finish it.
Science fiction, you said.
Yeah, it's science fiction, and the name of it, drum roll, Target Prime.
Oh, cool.
So that's actually the name of the channel. That's actually where the channel came from.
What, military science fiction or?
Well, I'm not sure what military science fiction is, but I guess it's like a cross between Star Trek and like with mutants and stuff, and it's just.
It's more of a Ninja Turtle. Mutants.
Other kind of mutants. They're not as kiddish. But did you know that Ninja Turtles are an adult comic?
I was teasing.
I know.
And you know what? I'm not too old for SpongeBob. I watched
yes,
SpongeBob.
You are.
No, I watched SpongeBob. But I did miss some Mutant Ninja Turtles. I only saw that when I was babysitting people your age or younger.
I remember the first time I ever saw SpongeBob. I was watching the award ceremony. I forget what year it was, but I was watching an award ceremony when SpongeBob first came out. And all of a sudden, this cartoon sponge comes on the TV to give somebody an award. And it's like one of those, like, you know, like into the real thing, you know. And that's the first time I ever saw SpongeBob SquarePants. And I'm like, Mom, there's a talking sponge on the TV.
I only found out about him from the kids I babysat. And I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen, SpongeBob. It was awesome.
Oh, that's how I found out, too. I'm just joking. No, I found it.
I'm looking
I was I you know, I'm telling the truth. No one can see me.
Yeah, I'm looking for the lightning bolt over here, too. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Thomas.
I'm not going to lie. I still watch cartoons. And I'm proud of it. As a person that draws cartoons, obviously, I'm going to watch cartoons.
Hey, Thomas, what happens if you get to 33333?
I don't know. That's
that become the evil one?
That's the 5.
No. It's 5 3s, yeah. Actually, okay, Thomas, here, do this 33 hours, 33 minutes, and 33 seconds.
33. Well, we're already at,
You missed
Yeah, well,
it.
we're already.
You missed it. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
missed
yeah.
it, so that's fine.
You
So
better hurry up and end the
I
live
had a
if you want to
great
do
time.
333.
I had a great time. You guys definitely helped me. All of you, the whole crew, helped me relieve a lot of stress. So that idea of having a cupcake is no longer in my head.
Good.
So thank you for that. And not even having the cheese is in my head. So that's
Good.
because I'm trying to do the lion diet, and cheese would have been a little problematic with
Hey,
that.
I want to give you a little hint. Next time you feel like having a cupcake, go to your toilet, take the lid off, unscrew that little thing that broke off, hold your cupcake right over it, and it'll ruin the cupcake and you won't want it anymore.
There you go.
I have
Yeah, but it was
He'd have
that.
to
It was
buy a
that.
cupcake
It was
first.
that It was that instant. That instance that caused me to want the cupcake in the first place. So if I do that, I'm probably going to want it. Like I'll just get another one. Never mind that.
do you see how much of an overcomer that would prove that you are? The problem is taking the cupcake away from me. That's great. I have been
Yeah.
known to run
Yeah,
water.
I'd rather not break. I'd rather not break the and cause a flood again. I would rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd rather.
you could just
I would rather just
you could,
drop it outside and stomp on it. That probably would be a
do
lot
that.
less costly.
or you could just drop it in the toilet and flush it.
Yeah. That'd take care of it too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that'd be a lot easier too. To just,
Yeah. I'd probably clog it, but depending on the cupcake.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, I'll figure it out. Or give it to a squirrel and try to get it from a squirrel.
Yeah.
That'd be
Good morning, Rich Ducks.
that'd be pretty dangerous. Yeah, because once a squirrel has it, he's going to want it. So
Yeah.
I think now I'm overthinking things. So
Probably.
yeah.
Well, Thomas, I hope
So
you get that toilet taken care of, and I hope
I will.
you get some
I
water
will.
turned on soon.
Everything does come around in the end, and everything does get
Right.
solved eventually.
All
Um,
things work together. All things work together.
I used to tell.
for those
Oh,
of us
you know
who.
what? That's my about to head to you. So live,
All right.
love, heal, and for God's sakes, people, eat the freaking meat.
All right.